cutting edge and stuff like. Okay. Wow. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. 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 There is a lot. Oh no no no. No no no. No. Oh my god. By now I'm sure we're all familiar with the game mode Hardcore in Minecraft. It's an in-game challenge where if you die, your world is gone. Forever. And to challenge ourselves even further, we did it all without Totems of Undying. A quick breakdown for anyone who doesn't know how totems work. If you run out of hearts while holding a Totem of Undying in your hands, you'll be spared with a couple extra hearts in exchange for the totem itself. If, however, you die without the totem in your hand, well, it's over. And in Hardcore, I mean, it's really over. So, after many close calls, a couple nice builds, with full interiors of course, and a couple automated farms, this is the story of how we survived 1,000 days in our first ever Hardcore Minecraft world. Not only will you see how the world progresses, but you'll also see how the videos and the video quality progresses, because it is a pretty big difference. This is my first ever YouTube channel, and yeah, we've come a long way. Also, this is the 1,000 day special, so it would be pretty cool if we can hit 1,000 subscribers. Alright, that's enough. I'm done. Bye. Love you. I'm a little nervous, honestly. I usually play on Bedrock, and I am still not the best on mouse and keyboard. Really not the quickest, so I'm a little nervous to start a world that if I die, it's gone. So let's see what we have here. We spawn in a jungle. Very good. Alright, I'll take some of this bamboo, some bamboozle. Alright, now what we need to worry about is getting a pickaxe and get some food. Hopefully we can find like a plains biome or something. Let's see, some coal. Ooh, some easy iron. Very good. Very nice. Alright, let's get some of the stone here. I can make an iron or a stone pickaxe. Nice. I'm actually gonna make a stone axe as well. I was about to forget the main thing here. Yes, one piece of iron. Look at that, please. Stay away. Stay away. There you go. And he is done for. I see some food. Stay away from the side of this, because it is not safe. Thank you, sir. Sorry for what has to happen to you and your other friend up here. Well, we can, yes, I see sugarcane. All right, we're going this way. But yeah, my expectations for the series is for it to last as long as possible, obviously. I don't want to die. I mean, the main goal of today's video is getting iron armor, getting set up in a little shelter. I could try to make a starter base for this episode. I just don't want it to take as long as that takes. All right, this is kind of scary. All right, so I see coal. Come into the lights, my son. Oh, this is a massive cave. This is crazy. So the sun is getting kind of low right now. I should definitely get down here and get this iron while I can. There's coal and iron and everything I need in here. I might have to set up in the side of this mountain. Oh yes, there's sheep. Thank God, bro. Thank God. All right. Thank you for your sacrifice. Good man. Nice. I don't want any monsters, bro. None. I seen that. Oh, here it is. Okay. Nice. Oh, that's a lot of iron, buddy. And there's more. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm actually pretty scared now. Like, I can... See, bro? I'm not good at this game. Ooh. Okay. I feel a lot more comfortable when I get a shield and get some iron armor. Get you there. I need you. I need one of you. I need one of you. And I need one of you. Very good. And we still have enough for an iron pickaxe. Very good. We're not doing bad. We're not doing bad. Not too shabby. I should definitely cook some food for when I need it. Now I'm feeling good. Oh, hold on. I would have went down there. Not protected. That would have been rough. So now that we have iron armor and iron tools, we can start looking for a village. I don't know what happened. I just like for a second he was there, and then I don't know. I get a jungle boat. Wait a second. Little cove area for a starter base? I'm not that creative. I wish. This is nice though. It's a nice area. I'm so sorry. Savannah villages. Let's check this out, man. Oh, what's that? What's that? See? I know it, man. Look at this. We're in business, boys. It's just getting used to the keyboard and mouse for anybody who's thinking about getting a PC or doing anything along those lines. It's a little different, but Java is definitely, there's a whole bunch of stuff in Java that you can't do on Bedrock, and there's a little bit of things on Bedrock that you can't do on Java. One of the main things that I love about Java, like you can do the little one block thing. But we're gonna destroy this, so you can be a new Fletcher, buddy. Now we can trade for some sticks, and we can get levels like this as well. Lock you in. God, if I don't find one diamond on this whole strip of 100 blocks, it's gonna be pretty sad, man. We're kind of close to doing that. Okay, so we just dug 100 blocks this way, and not one diamond. And we found our first diamonds. Let's go. Let's see how much we get in here. Ooh, there's a lot. All right, we have a diamond pickaxe now. All right, we cannot fall from up here because I'm pretty sure we would die. And if we died from falling out of a tree in a hardcore world, that would be really embarrassing. Hopefully there's no lava under this. That way it doesn't despawn my first piece of obsidian. All right, it does. We have 8 pieces of obsidian now. Now we can return to the surface and make good use of this. Alrighty, so we have what we need to make a enchanting table. Excuse me, sir. I need your bed. Get up. Thank you. This is nice. Ooh. Jackpot. Got this. Oh my god, I'm taking this too. Paper. That's what we need, brother. We do now have a lectern that is in here. So I think what we're gonna do is try to get mending. Please allow me, sir. So we're on day, what, 14 now? Yeah, we're on day 14. Let's see how long it takes to get a mending book. Hopefully it's not long. So for those of you that don't know what I'm doing right now, I have a villager trapped that does not have a job yet, and I'm using this lectern, I don't know why I said that like that, lectern, to reroll his trades until I get a mending book. And if you don't know what mending is, it's an enchantment that you put on your gear. So when you get XP, so say like my axe in my hand, for example, if I get XP while I have the axe in my hand or in my offhand, then it's gonna repair the axe. And that goes for like all of my gear here. So if I had all this gear on while I'm getting XP and it had mending on it, and it'll all be repaired when I get XP. Mending for 24. That's fine. I'll take it. There we go. We got mending. I'll probably chop all this down just so that way we can have what we need. And I'm gonna need to chop it all down anyways because we're gonna start trading the Fletcher so we can get some experience and some emeralds or more mending books. And then by the time we're done doing this little grindy part, we'll have enough levels to enchant and have an enchanting setup. Oh, that is definitely gonna put a little damper on things. We have all that we need for sticks, and more sticks. All right, very good. Hey buddy, if I keep picking up your stuff, bro, we're gonna have some problems, alright? So I'm thinking I'm gonna put the enchanting setup in here. That way it's just a little more concealed. We can slap this right there. Now we can throw that in there and look at that. Silk touch. It was supposed to be fortune. Oh my god. So what we can do actually, instead of trying to get all the diamonds from fortuning them, since we now have a silk touch pickaxe, that's our first pickaxe, we can try to trade the armor and get the stuff that way. It makes it worth the journey. Look at that. 23. We're on breaking 3. That's actually really good. Wow. Nice. So we got some diamond. I got our first pair of diamond or first, and it's not bad. And breaking 3, I'll take it. This is a great pickaxe. I know I'm complaining, but that one hurt. These are actually really good boots too, because they got feather falling and projectile protection. That doesn't bother me. This is actually really good. I can get 2 of these and combine them to get feather falling 4. And we're probably just gonna get efficiency 4. Silk touch again. Why are you doing this to me, game? As fun as early game Minecraft is, it's not. You know what I mean? Yes. Okay, blast protection. Okay, protection 2 and then breaking 3 is actually not bad. Our first set of iron armor barely got touched. It's safe to say we are playing this safe. Now all we need is the chest piece, and we are set up on that aspect. And boom, there she is. Full diamond gear, baby. So that is our complete first set of iron armor right there. So we're back and we got fortune 3. And also along the way of trading, we ended up trading for an unbreaking book as well, because unbreaking is a necessity. And we're trading for this fortune 3 book for 40 emeralds, and we have 39. Very, very good. Good thing I brought this paper with me, and thank God that works. Efficiency 4. Now we can make a perfect pickaxe with the fortune 3, breaking 3, and mending. We're gonna throw mending and unbreaking together. This is gonna cost me a lot of levels, but that is a-okay. All right, efficiency 4, 14 levels. We have 19, so we're gonna be down to level 5. It's worth it. All right, so we can actually jump down and start collecting some ores. That's what we're gonna do now. That's what we're gonna focus on. Yeah, we're looking pretty good in the server right now. Oh my god, look at that. That is a beauty. Oh my god, look at it. It just looks so good with the shaders. Let's see what we get from this. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna break all of it. All right, there's only 2, so we just got 7 diamonds from from 2 ores. Let's see if there's any more. Not looking like it. Nope. Okay, so I mean, I'll take it. First 2 ores gave us 7 diamonds. Oh my god, look at it. Look at it. This is the monument to this hardcore series. Got our first set of iron armor right here. First shield that was on the way out. First wooden pickaxe, first iron shovel, first wooden axe. All the other tools broke on us, so we don't have them anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, so we packed up a couple of things. Let's show the chest. So we brought all our stuff over from the home village, all the like important stuff. It's really not that far away anyway, so we can just go back and grab like the building blocks that we need. Yeah, so we stumbled across this little spot. It's looking good. There's a lot of space. I leveled out a little bit of this little field here to get a little bit of an open area. That way we can start constructing our starter build. Oh yeah, he has a iron sword. I don't want to. Okay, all right, that works. You missed. I feel like swords are good for like farms, like sweeping edge and stuff like. Oh my god. That was close. Our quest to enchant our shovel is now over. Now we are ready to start gathering some materials. We have all the cobble deep slate we're gonna need, and we just need a bunch of wood. So it's a perfect place to get it. So yeah, we're gonna keep it pretty simple as of right now. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna leave this for the stairs. So right now I have nothing but cobblestone. So I'm gonna structure this whole thing out of cobblestone, and we'll come back and texture it and take out. You know what? Before I start doing that, then I should definitely start cooking up some of this. Alright, so we've made a little bit of progress on the structure itself, doing the outline of the roof. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do the roof because I made the build a little awkward. And then the way that I'm building up the roof is I'm doing a upside down stair, a block, and a stair on top, and then an upside down stair, a block, and stair on top. Let me see how that looks. That might look okay, honestly, if I leave it like that. And I'm alternating blocks just because, you know, to add texture. As you can see, it just looks a lot more like used. We're most likely gonna add some windows in here just so it can look a little neater. Not neater, but just a little more complex. Probably gonna look a little weird. I might have to replace these with spruce. So I'm gonna put a window in that spot there because that just doesn't look that good. Look at the shovel. It's as small as him. Creepers. Alright, so looking back to the footage, I realized that one of the files was corrupted, so none of this saved. So I'm gonna walk through it real quick. What I did here is I just laid down a circular foundation for the first part. For the second part, I did the same thing. I laid down a rectangular foundation, and then I put a deep slate building on top of it. I'm gonna keep all the mob drops outside, and I'm gonna put the bulk storage on the inside. And then extra items we can put in barrels, like just around this, decorate it. And then we made like a little canopy type of thing. It's all right. I don't know if I like it too much. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, we might change it maybe later in the future. But down here we actually have a friend that we captured, and he's gonna stay there till we get some splash potions of weakness so we can cure him. And if my voice sounds a little different, it's because it's really early in the morning. Please excuse me, sir. Hey. Okay. Ooh, sniper. I definitely do just want to kind of finish. I got way too close to that. He almost took out the horses. All right, so yeah, this roof is looking so we need to finish this roof right now. That's what we're gonna do. That way we can just get on and start progressing and stop getting sidetracked, because we have been working on it for quite some time. It's been a couple in-game days, so we're trying to finish this up as quickly as possible. So for the top of the roof, I usually kind of do the same thing. I'll do alternating walls. So wall, skip a block, wall, skip a block, do that all the way down, slab, and all the spaces that we missed. And then for some reason I messed up. This section is not an odd number, it's an even number, so this right here is going to be too wide. We're going to put walls on top of all the full blocks, and then we're going to take the fence gates and put them in the middle on top of the slabs, and they're going to connect all the walls. On top of the deep slate walls, we're going to put the spruce fences. And then I like the type of effect this gives. It just makes the roof look a little more pointy and like a little more is going on. A little bit of modification to the roof, because the roof was looking really simple and really plain. I'm liking this a lot more. That looks a lot better. So basically what I did, I just added like a big window. You can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the middle on the bottom. That way it can lead up to one singular point, because if I did an even number, then it wouldn't lead up to one single point, and it would just make everything look off. All we gotta do now is just clear out the inside of the window and make it an actual window. Yeah, that looks fine. All right, at first I wasn't really liking this build, not gonna lie, but since I added this part in the roof, it's just looking 10 times better. Right now what we're doing is we're kind of just decorating the outside of this the main storage structure. So it's coming along pretty nice. I'm liking the shape of the build itself. And then if you come around front, so this is gonna be the front, and I'm most likely either gonna put like a custom pond or a custom tree somewhere over here just to kind of bring everything together. We just finished decorating the whole front side, and it's looking pretty decorated. We just got to get some pots and some lights. Obviously, yeah, we don't have any villagers yet, so I can't trade for any missing lanterns. This project is actually taking longer, way longer than I thought it was gonna take. It is a lot bigger than I intended for it to be, but I don't know. I just started building, and I just can't, like, once the scale gets sorted out, there's not really, I don't know, man. I just have no self-control, I guess. Trapdoor, sign, and button. So we've been doing some decorating. We got the back side done. It's nothing crazy. I'm a little concerned more about the roof. It just looks very plain. I think I'm probably gonna add like a window on that side just to like kind of balance it out, because this side already has the dip right here. So I want to put something on this side just to make it look a little more interesting. This looks kind of like a smiley face now that I'm looking. It looks a little creepy, honestly. Now that I'm looking at it like that. But yeah, we just lined some slabs up and some stairs at the bottom, and then we made the big window that we were talking about. We have been hard at work on this project, man. It's nice. It's nice though. But you guys can let me know what you want to see in the comments, like if you want to see like time lapses or anything like that, or you want me to go through the build completely with you. I'm just kind of seeing what works and what doesn't, and I know if I was to build this all out on a video, it'd just take like an immense amount of time. All right, now we have a blank slate to work with. This build looks actually pretty good, honestly. It's coming out pretty nice. I had to do a little bit of interior just to like figure out where the windows are going, but not really that much. So we decided to try and build up something a little bit different. It doesn't get too big, because this right here is already pretty big, and what we had before just didn't look right here to me. So yeah, we are changing some stuff around. So yeah, right now we just built out the structure. I have a pretty good idea of what I want to build now. So this is gonna be the main storage. It's gonna be like a small extension of the storage, and then under these I might do like some type of furnace area or something like that. Right now we can continue on the roof, and for the roof we're gonna do like something pretty simple. So we're gonna go out like this. We're gonna bring it up to the middle, and then we're gonna look this way, and then we're gonna put a stair facing that way. We're gonna do this all the way around. We got the outline, so it's all gonna be spruce, just so that way it can match the other side. All right, so we're almost about finished here. We're gonna raise this up on this side, on the tower side, just so that way there's a good height variation within the build. All right, now that we have the frame of the outside of the roof, what we're gonna do is we're actually going to use spruce planks instead of using deep slate, because that would just be way too much deep slate. So we're gonna place down 2 spruce blocks on the corners, and then from there we're gonna gradually go up by 1. So then on this block we're gonna put a stair. So we're gonna do that all the way around. So this is gonna come up to same level as the stairs that we're on, right? And this is what I was messing up a lot. All my roofs kept looking a little weird, and I didn't know why. It was kind of bothering me, but now I know. So now that we're up here, we're gonna hit stairs all the way around, and then we're gonna have, I don't have any fences on me, unfortunately, but we'll put a fence and then we'll do an iron bar. All right, so we just got to do a little bit of detailing. We'll go up on the roof, we'll finish the roof off, and then we're done with the build, and we can be done with this episode. So on top of the solid blocks, we're going to put the walls. Then on top of the walls, we're going to put the spruce fences, and it's the same thing as that up there. This little smaller build right here with the tower on it and the deep slate. I like that. I like this roof. This is nice. So yeah, we got a little bit of decoration going all the way around now on all of the pillars. All right, so we're throwing in a little bit of a little mini pond out in front. I was either gonna do a mini pond or a custom tree, but I think a mini pond would look good. Custom tree would also look good. It would just kind of be in the way of the build a little bit. See, like here I'm gonna put glow berries here, so we're still not completely finished, and actually missed some iron bars up top. We'll get to that next episode. But yeah, this is what it's looking like on the outside, and it's looking pretty good. So today what we want to do is we want to end up getting to the Nether and finding a fortress. In this series I just want all the builds to have a purpose for building. Like this is going to be the storage, put a whole bunch of chests in here. We'll do the interior today, but we'll take care of that stuff after we go to the Nether, just because that's been something I've been wanting to do for a while now, because I do like beating the game before I start building, just because it like speeds up the building process when you have an elytra and shulker boxes and stuff like that. Because we are currently on day 118, and this is all we've accomplished. I mean, it's nice, it's a lot, but we definitely, if we beat the game, we could be saving a lot of time. So we're gonna work towards that goal today by enchanting this bow to get infinity on it. So what we need to do right now is we need to go back to the home village, trade up some some Fletchers just so we can get some XP and get some emeralds while we're doing that as well. That way we can buy some more diamond armor. I'm gonna want diamond armor before we go to the Nether just so we can have the maximum amount of protection on the quest to get levels and get an infinity bow so we can go to the Nether. I'm kind of just a little bit nervous. So yeah, we do have a pretty nice area to work with. I'm not sure if we'll end up staying here after we get the Elytra. I mean, I do want to make a small city here, or small town or whatever. Yeah, that looks nice. Wow, look at that. The roofs, beautiful. Anyways, I know I want to do a couple builds over here. I'm not sure if we'll do that much or end up relocating because I do like being around mountains, and this is the closest thing we have to a mountain. So let's make some sticks. Let's get some levels. We'll get as much levels as we can. Probably buy some armor as well. Nice, level 32. Did he just refresh? Nope. And we got 48 emeralds. So I know we need probably another helmet. This guy in his corner. If you don't know, every bookshelf is worth 2 levels. So you need 15 bookshelves next to an enchanting table. So you can get a level 30 enchant. So I need obviously one more. And there it is. And boom. Level 30. Flame. Unbreaking. Flame. We do kind of need a flame bow. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is a perfect bow. Thank you. All right, so we don't have to do any more. That worked out so nice. This is Silk Touch, so we can take this all back with us. That worked out pretty nice, honestly. We got flame and infinity and power 4. Does it have unbreaking? This is almost a... Yeah, it does have unbreaking. That's a perfect bow. We might try to trap a Librarian villager. That way we can get... we can work on getting looting 3 for our sword. And we should be good after that. That looks so nice. Wow. I like that. I like the smaller side, honestly. The smaller side came out pretty nice. It's like a one eye with like a really creepy smile and some tears on the side. It's kind of creepy, but hey, we are off in search of the village. So it's pretty much just straight ahead from where we're stationed at. So what we're gonna do this episode is we're gonna go to the Nether so we can get some blaze rods so we can cure these villagers, and then we'll make a villager breeder. If we have time, we'll do an iron farm. So I don't think I have any villagers trapped in here yet. Thought I did. I'm just seeing one over here. Hey buddy, you want a job? Here, you can be a local librarian, huh? Come on. Taking the bait. It's taking the bait. Stop. Yes, sir. All right. So we are good to work with you now, sir. Because I don't want you moving around in here while I'm trying to get your trades. If you would just... There you go. Nice. All right, let's see if he's close enough to connect. And he is. So we are on the quest for looting 3. So yeah, we will come back when we get that because that usually takes a little while. 2 hours later. So that took longer than I'd like to admit, but all that time for this book. Oh yeah, also on Java, what I actually didn't know is that if you have mobs and boats, they just don't despawn, so they don't need a name tag, which is actually pretty nice. Because on Bedrock, even if they are in a boat, they'll still despawn. All right, so we are back home. We're gonna combine these books, and then our sword is still not perfect, but good enough. And also, so is the bow that we have. So let's see, mending first, looting. Okay, let's see, looting first, then mending. Yeah, that's a lot better. That cost 9. It's looking like a pretty good sword. Now we can actually use our sword instead of using the axe to kill everything. So we got protection 4, actually pretty quick, a lot quicker than looting 3, thankfully. So let's see, this is what, 4 again? All right, so we need what, 7 more levels to combine both of these, and we should be all right. We have the whole protection 4 set of armor. The only thing is, I'm gonna need to wear gold so piglins don't attack us. Wow, that's perfect. Wow. I did not know that was gonna be what we needed. All right, so we got ourselves a nice set of nether gear here. No more beating around the bush. Let's get up in the nether. We gotta find a place that we're gonna put this nether portal. We're gonna find a temporary spot for it just because I want to do like a build, like a nether portal build. Probably do that a little later. So I think what we're gonna do is go over to where we set up the strip mine, which is right down here. Come down a couple levels and then dig this out and put the portal up in here. Woo, there it is. All right, I'm nervous. All right, let's go. Let's see what's on the other side of this. We're blocking. Soul Sand Valley, huh? Yeah, I mainly just want to find a fortress and then kind of believe. Actually, not a bad spawn spot. Kind of tucked in like a little bunker. The only thing is, this is a little dangerous here. I mean, I don't think it's enough to die from. You know what? Better safe than sorry. This is hardcore, and I like the build that I just made. I don't want to lose this world. Honestly, our best bet probably is stay in the Soul Sand Valley, just so that way there's the least amount of threats. I feel like fortresses spawn pretty frequently in these. Yeah, we're gonna go back this way just because this seems like a safer alternative, even though it is really not. Because of this, we fall, we're done. Series over. If a guy shoots me right now, series over. All right, I'm not mad about this spawn though. At least it wasn't a Crimson Forest. At least I really just want to find an easy fortress, bro. Like that would be so nice. We're gonna dig up to this. No way. Yes, that's perfect, bro. That's, oh my god. Wow. All right. The fight's not over yet. We still got a little bit of a fight. We're good to advance here. Let's keep this in our hands. You know what? Let's take the boat out just in case any Endermen wanna tussle. Okay, Wither Skellies. We gotta watch out for them because they are dangerous. Here we go, a terrible fortress. So if you don't know, Wither Skeletons can't go under 2 blocks. So that's why I just lined this up with the Netherite on the 3rd block, because as you can see, he can't get to me. And that's easy kills for us. And it keeps us safe. Ooh, one shot. One shot, brother. We are being very... Oh, okay. Nether wart is right down there. All right, we're playing this very slow, just to be safe. Boom, boom, boom. We're blocking off all the corridors here, so we have a nice little safe section. A fortress in the Soul Sand Valley is actually really a really good find. Okay, hey, buddy. All right, we're gonna fight you with our hands. Yes, sir. We just got 3 off the first one. Good job, guy. All right. You got some nether wart. That's all we need. Beautiful. Okay. See another guy. Ooh, diamonds. And a saddle. Yes. I'm so excited. Now everything. Okay. Yes. That is. Okay. We're not gonna leave that open like that. I hear a wither skeleton. Probably up top. Nope, he's right here. All right. You know what? We're not gonna overstay our welcome. We're gonna go back here. This is perfect, bro. The way this is set up right now, Minecraft really blessed us. That's wild. Thank God we turned around, bro, because we were going that way and it was literally in the other direction. I'm excited, man. I'm overwhelmed right now. Definitely need 2 farmers. And if you want a farmer villager, you need a composter. So we're gonna make 2 farmers and a cleric. That way we can get ender pearls so we can find the stronghold whenever we're ready to do that. So what we need for this now to convert villagers, we need glass, we need brown mushrooms, we need sugar, and we need spider's eye, so we can craft the fermented spider eye, because that's the main ingredient for the potion itself. So these are all the ingredients that we're gonna need to make these splash potions of weakness. So you get your water bottles, you fill them up. So we have to craft the fermented spider eye, and that's why we just gathered all those materials. So we're gonna craft that and throw it in here. You just need to throw one in there, and once this is done, it's gonna be a potion of weakness. Once we make it a splash potion, then we can throw it at the villagers. We need more golden apples as well. We need 2 more golden apples. So now we have the splash potion of weakness. We got 3 of them, so we can cure some villagers. Yes, sir. All right, so we're gonna put this in here while we go cut down these things. Man, these villagers are loud. Now we need to get some gold so we can craft these golden apples. Let's see what that does for us. If I cure them all like this, then there's a chance that one villager will become purified before the other, and then he'll just end up dying again, and then I'll have to cure him again. Yeah, it's moving along now. I'm actually pretty glad we went to the Nether and got that done. I'm glad it was as easy as it was, because that was nice. All right, so I'm gonna get them all out of the boats, then I'm gonna trap them in their own individual boats. We're gonna try and get them all in the same spot, or like at least close to it. I get it. We got them all next to each other that way. So if we throw the splash potion about like right there, it should hit all 4 of them. And then we just got to hit all 4 of them with these golden apples. So let's give it a go. And I don't see any particles. Maybe I turned it off on accident. They're buzzing red, so they are on their way to becoming whole again. So we will be back whenever these guys get cured up and ready to rock and roll. Oh, one of them. Zombie doctor, we got the achievement. Very good, very nice. So the point of converting zombie villagers back into regular villagers is that way you can get really cheap trades. Yep, pick a job, any job. Yep, go ahead. We're gonna work on trading these villagers up, seeing what they are gonna offer us. So off camera, we did a little bit of trading with the villagers. Also, we put the enchanting setup in here. Villagers are a catalyst just for everything else to run smoothly in your Minecraft server. So if you don't have villagers in your Minecraft server, I would definitely recommend putting them in your Minecraft server. All right, so we got a little bit more decorating done. Nothing too substantial at all. Coming along pretty nice. We'll definitely come back whenever we get a little more progress done. We ended up crafting some pots. We went and got some clay, put some more glowberries around, you know, just to light it up a little bit. All right, so I figured out where I want to put the villager breeder. We cleared out a little plot of land over here. We set up the perimeter and the actual villager breeder itself, and it's working pretty good. We got 2 baby villagers already. I mean, that's pretty promising. Now we just have to build the actual build itself. The idea that I have, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. So we'll be back once we have all the materials for it and start building. So right now what we're gonna do is just lay out the foundation. We have the foundation. Now we're gonna build up. We're gonna probably build this up by, I'm gonna say 7. So we're gonna go all the way around. I think we're gonna build this side up probably by, I want to say like 14. We're gonna have a straight roof on here, and then we're gonna have like more of like a pointed roof up here. And this is actually, yeah, probably gonna be a little bit too tall. We're gonna take it down by probably 2 blocks. So kind of like that, but a little bigger, and not with the pointed part, but like this on all 4 sides. So this face on all 4 sides. I'm excited to see what it ends up looking like. We have to figure out how we want the roof to be. I mean, I know I want this side to be spruce. So for this main building, I did a simple stair roof, and then for this one, I'm gonna do the stair, upside down stair, full block, and then stair on top. Basically what I'm talking about is, boom, we're gonna do an upside down stair, we're gonna do a regular stair, then we're gonna do a full block on top of the upside down stair, and another stair. So we're gonna do that on all 4 sides. All right, all of the sides of the tower is done. So now we just have to fill it in. I think we're gonna use wood so it matches. I was thinking about putting like an extension out this way, but this build is already way bigger than it needs to be, so I don't think we're gonna do that. What we are gonna do is we're gonna add a little awning in the front here. It's gonna extend probably like 5 blocks, so we're gonna need a lot of campfires. So we're filling out the inside of the roof now. It seems complicated like when you're looking at it, but it's honestly pretty simple. I mean, you can do some complicated stuff, but yeah, we're not gonna be doing that. We're more of like a intermediate level, I would say. So we're gonna get down and we're gonna 360 when we do it. Boom. We're gonna take a step back and look at it. Okay, so wow, that was actually really not smart. But anyways, that looks good. That looks good. I'm excited to play around with this roof. I had an idea, right? So I'm gonna build the roof like normal, like all stairs, but then I'm gonna build probably like another roof on top of the roof itself. Ooh, we have more Villy boys. Come on out. Whoa, where are you going? Hey, buddy. You're not supposed to cross over these. It's in your coding. What are you doing? Oh, how the hell, bro? That honestly, that really scared me. So with this, yeah, all we're doing with this now is just filling in. It's gonna look so bad before we start like adding stuff to it. After filling in the wood of the roof, that's that's what it's looking like. Yeah, right now it just looks really plain, but we're gonna fix that, and you'll see. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have some pillars that come up probably like 3 blocks, maybe starting like right here. So it's gonna come up 3 blocks, and then we're gonna put another roof like this on top of this roof. I just want to see how this looks and see if this like kind of makes it any better. And what I'm really trying to figure out is if I want it flat like this or if I want it like sloping down. It's a pretty satisfying sound, honestly. So if you put walls in between fence gates, there's like a little arch. So if you don't know, now you know. All right, so 1, 2, 3. So we're just gonna do that all the way around with this awning, and then on top we can also do the same thing, just so it looks a little more fortified, I guess, or just stable and sturdy. We're gonna bring this out as well. So 1, 2, 3. Push that there. We're gonna make a big door. So here we're gonna raise these. I don't want to raise them up too high. Raise these pillars up. We're gonna make like a little arch doorway, like a little underpass. We're gonna do the top. We're gonna make a little archway, upside down stair, trapdoor. All right, so we got the awning. It came out pretty nice. Sorry, it's raining. It literally just started raining, but it looks pretty nice. And I got the glowstone behind the windows there to give it a little more light. Added some torches. This doesn't look good. Yeah, we're probably gonna take this entrance down and try to redo it. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I mean, we're gonna do something along this line, along the lines of this. Probably just raise it up a little bit. Yeah, I'll probably just put a slab of stone under this, raise this up, and then make this a little taller because I don't like how short it is. So we're gonna come over 3. So 1, 2, 3 down. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3 over. So we'll start right here. That's gonna be too big, so we're gonna do it like this. All right, so with these holes here, we're gonna end up placing spruce logs, place some temporary blocks, and then we're gonna place spruce logs going up 3, and then we're gonna build the outline of the second roof on top of this. So we came in 3, so we'll do the same thing from this side. It'll be right here. I guess there's too many villagers now. Honestly, the villager breeder's working pretty good, not gonna lie. So 1, 2, 3. All right, now we're gonna strip these down. All right, so we're gonna jump up on this and then jump up on the pillars, and we're just gonna fill it out how we would normally fill it out. We're gonna do that all the way around. We have the little outline of the sub roof, I guess you can call it. That's basically the premise of what we wanted to do. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna fill this all in with spruce stairs. All right, so we filled in the extended roof part with spruce. Still looks kind of plain. What we're gonna do now is, so in the middle here, we're gonna add like a little arch. We'll see how that looks, see if that like kind of spices it up a little bit. So the way we're gonna set this up is we're gonna do an upside down stair instead on both sides, and then we're gonna come on top and then do the normal roof method. So we're gonna do stair, upside down stair, stair until we get to the middle. So we're just gonna connect all these walls in with the spruce. That way it like flows into the build. I have to come down here and take out all of this part of the roof. All right, so we got the roof situated. That looks 10 times better. This, honestly, I'm really enjoying this build. It's coming out looking pretty nice. I actually had to turn off the villager breeder by taking away the beds because they're getting kind of packed in here. As you can see, there's a lot more villagers than we need. Now I guess it's time to work on the tower. This looks pretty good. I've never done this with stone. Actually looks pretty nice. I always usually do it with deep slate. We'll throw this right here. Perfect. Okay, yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. I don't know how I feel about this. No. Oh my god. That's the second time this has happened in the same spot. Ah, creepers, man. Creepers. All right, so we did more of the tower bit. We actually finished the tower, but yeah, for the most part the build is done. We also threw a path down in here. We changed up the entrance, and then we did some decorations on the outside. Might have went a little overboard. We don't have anything to put in these pots. I did put bamboo in here, but I don't know, it didn't look that good to me. Oh, and also on the side of the tower over here, we added a little, I guess, little storage area. I mean, we don't need storage. We have a lot of storage. We put the little crane bit on the side just to kind of fill in the wall. It's looking good, man. I like this. I like this little spot. But yeah, we ended up getting this nice town hall villager breeder setup, and it's massive. I mean, I knew this build was gonna be big. I didn't think it was gonna be this big. It's pretty big. I mean, kind of for no reason, because the the farm itself is really small. I like how it came out, and we had a lot of fun. Wow, and we're on day 198. Yeah, we're kind of deep into the series now. All right, so welcome back to episode 3 of the hardcore survival world. We built this last episode. It's a villager breeder town hall. We got some villagers in here. A little bit of a lot of villagers in here. We got a lot. We have plans for them. Yeah, I really like how this build came out. I was not expecting it to look this good. Looks pretty good. But today is a very important episode because we are on day 199. We are close to day 200. Yeah, if we take a look at our inventory here, we still have no elytra. We do have a lot of gunpowder though, so you know what we're gonna do with some of this gunpowder. Actually, we're gonna come right over here because you know where this is going. We're gonna take some of this sugar cane and we're gonna craft up some rockets. Why, you might ask? Because we're going to locate the stronghold. We're gonna go to the end. We're gonna fight the dragon. That's what we're doing in today's episode. So let's craft up some rockets. Because right after we beat the dragon, we're gonna go get an elytra. Ideally, that's what we want to happen. So we're gonna craft up some rockets. We got a lot of rockets here. We got a lot of rockets. We're gonna grab our ender pearls, and you know what? We're gonna trade for more so we have extra for the dragon fight. So yeah, right now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna prepare for this dragon fight. So usually what you want is buckets of water. I'm gonna craft up a couple golden apples just in case. I want to go with slow falling potions. I should go with slow falling potions. Where's the apples? We're gonna craft as much gold apples as we can because we're gonna end up doing that anyways, and that is gonna be our food source for the trip. Scaffolding is a must. All right, so we're gonna make a couple of eyes of ender. You know what I should do? Oh, I need wood. What we need. We're gonna take a couple stacks of wood. That way we can bridge across the end islands. I really hope that we can just find a ship pretty quickly because bridging across is pretty stressful. Honestly, I'm kind of nervous. We're gonna set our spawn here, so when we come back, that's where we come back through. Hopefully the stronghold is not too far away. All right, so let's craft up some eyes of ender, and I want to make an ender chest before we go as well. So we're gonna make, I think we're just gonna make them. We're gonna make them all. See if we can find some lava. I don't know. Yeah, we could go down in the caves here. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. All right, let's see if we can find some lava. So we need 8 lava and 1 eye of ender to make a ender chest. And I do want to make an ender chest, that way we can carry it into the end here. Also, if this episode goes according to plan and everything goes smoothly, we beat the dragon and all that, then we are gonna make an Enderman XP farm as well, because those things come in handy. All right, so I was just about to leave. I literally just came back from right here. I was jumping up here, and to my surprise, I heard there's lava somewhere in here. Ah, there we go. Look at that. All right, we found some lava. We can definitely, yes. Okay, this is good. All right, so we have 8, so we're just gonna leave it at that for right now. We don't want to do too much. I don't want to waste too much of the day. I do want slow falling potions though, so maybe we're gonna have to wait. I want to be as safe as possible in this dragon fight. I really don't want to lose this world. All right, so we made the ender chest. We still have 17 eyes of ender. Hopefully that is enough to get us where we need to go, because if not, we're gonna have to go back to the nether, and it's already nighttime. I think we are gonna wait the 3 days just to be safe. I mean, it's already the first night, might as well wait. So we're definitely going to put the rockets in the ender chest. Also, if you have an ender chest with you, you're gonna make sure you have silk touch, a silk touch pickaxe, because if you break it with a fortune pickaxe, then you're just gonna get the obsidian back. You don't get the ender chest. So you can break the ender chest with the silk touch pickaxe and it'll still be an ender chest. And then we also need, we're gonna make an anvil. The reason I'm making an anvil is because we want to get a mending and unbreaking book to put on our elytra. That way when we're flying around in the end, it doesn't just break on us. We also can bring glass bottles as well. But it is officially day 200. So yeah, we survived 200 days in hardcore Minecraft. Doing pretty all right. I mean, we haven't done anything too dangerous, and we went to the nether, but the nether was kind of cut out for us. Usually the most dangerous thing you can do, just because of the void, if you get knocked up into the void, then that's scary. That is really scary. So we're definitely gonna bring some ender pearls, slow falling potions, water buckets, all the precautions, golden apples, scaffolding, all that stuff. That is an end to day 200. Very nice. So we are about to start the first night so we can get some phantoms to spawn. I think this is the last day before the phantoms start spawning, so we can hopefully, you know, find some phantoms, get some phantom membrane. Yeah, it's been a long 3 days in Minecraft. My goodness, felt like an eternity. Only 15. All right, nice. So we got a perfect sword, only 15 levels, and we are now level 1. All right, so we're gonna wait until some phantoms come. We're gonna wait right here, and hopefully we hear some phantoms. If we have to wait another night, I'm gonna be kind of upset. It's day 203, so we should be good. I do want this helmet. Oh, they're here. I didn't think they were gonna come. Ah, it took them a while. Kind of tricky to hit. Yes, we got it. Yes. Yeah, fly away. What's up? Oh my god, I suck. We're gonna throw one of these in there. We do need to plant those because I don't want to have to go back to the nether to get them. Now we can put one of these phantom membranes in it, and we can actually start looking for the stronghold now. We don't really need to do anything else. I'm a little nervous. I am just a little bit nervous. All right, so we're going in this direction. So we're gonna go this direction for a couple hundred blocks, then we'll throw another eye. So you don't want to throw the eyes of ender too frequently when you're looking for the stronghold, because they have a chance of breaking when you throw them. Yeah, definitely want to keep that in mind. We only have 20, so at the most we can lose 8. We're gonna get over this hill and we're gonna throw the next one. Dolphin's jumping out of the water. Wow, that's awesome. I've never seen that in this game. Have they always done that? All right, let's throw another one. All right, still going the same way. That one blew up, and it just started raining. Wow, that was foreshadowing. Huh? Damn, that's a lot of turtles. Alright, we're just gonna swim and do this because on the boat just a little tough. Where'd I just go? Oh, it went down. Yes. All right, so I guess we can start digging. So when you're digging down trying to find a stronghold, you definitely want to dig two blocks. You don't want to dig straight down because there's a chance you can fall in like a huge lava lake. Oh, wow, we did not have to dig down that far. That is so nice. Look at that. Ooh. Here we are, boys. All right. Oh my god, why is there so many creepers? What the? Oh my god, okay. And there's still more. This is the most creepers I've why there was like 5 creepers in here. And there's still more. Oh my god. So let's explore, shall we? Take down these doors. another creeper. Yeah, these things are complete and utter mazes. So we just went all the way down this for no reason. All right, we might be here for a while, honestly. Oh my god. Okay, okay, okay. There is a lot. Oh, no, 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 no. That was scary. Oh my god, that was pretty close. I almost got trapped with no shield on us. Ooh, my heart is beating pretty fast right now. Creepers, man, they're dangerous under here. Ooh, yes. Yes. So we are ready to throw these in here. And they are pretty satisfying. Woo! Oh my god. All right, let's put this away. And yeah, we're ready to jump in the end. I'm very sad to say, I don't know why, but we just fought the dragon and the file got corrupted. That is the most unfortunate thing that has happened to me today. So we don't have the footage of us fighting the dragon in our first hardcore world on Java. That's heartbreaking. But we ended up going through the end gateway to the outer end cities. So right now we're looking for an end city so we can get an Elytra and get on out of here. I guess it's not all bad. Hopefully this file doesn't corrupt and we just don't get any footage of us doing anything meaningful in this whole series, because that would really suck. But right now, yep, we're heading west in the end city. Hopefully we can find one without having to use too many materials, because I forgot to bring building materials, so it would really suck if we ran out of building materials and would have to go back to the overworld to get more materials to build with. All right, so what we're gonna do is, when we can, we're gonna use ender pearls. We found an end city, luckily with a end ship too. That's what we need. This is like the most nerve-wracking thing ever. All right, so main thing we want to get here is just some shulker shells, and we want to build up, or we don't have to build up, we can, oh yeah, oh, that is right above the void. Yeah, so we're gonna get up there and then just build across. So this is what we're here for. All right, so we got some shulker shells. Let's turn these into shulker boxes real quick. We're gonna grab some chests, and now we can craft 3 shulker boxes. That feels so good. Wow, that's gonna be nice. The ship is over there. That's what we need. This is where we need to go. This is still very nerve-wracking because we are right over the void. Oh god, bro, that was so scary. Oh my god, we're on the ship. You are in the way, sir. Yes. All right, let's pop it out. Oh my god, we got it. We got an Elytra. There it is. All right, so let's take this out. Got an Elytra in hardcore Minecraft. All right, so this is why we took the anvil and the unbreaking and mending book, so we can do that right there. Oh, I'm so excited. This is nice. So the nice thing about shulker boxes is you can put them in your ender chest. A lot of space in your ender chest, potentially. All right, so we got what we came for. We got some shulker boxes and we got the Elytra. Now we can fly. Oh, it's so nice that we can fly now. Yes, I feel so much safer. But yeah, we definitely want to come back here and make an XP farm, because yeah, those things go crazy. All right, that is the end of the game, but just the beginning for our adventure. We can finally just fly around, no worries. We still got a lot to do in this server. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time though. All right, please just, okay. Oh my god, I'm getting rapid hit just now. I also just remembered we did not grab a dragon head, and also for right now we need a place for this dragon egg, and I think you're in the spot for that, buddy. We're gonna throw that right there. Well, that looks nice. That looks nice. Also, we did get a wither skeleton skull before we went to the end. I'm still disappointed about the file corrupting. That's the worst thing that could have happened. We'll work on getting the stuff to respawn the dragon and fight the dragon again. All right, so after a couple of hours of resource gathering, we got everything that we need for this XP farm. So yeah, I just looked on YouTube how to build the farm. So I mean, it's pretty simple. It's not nothing too crazy. We got all the materials. Honestly, what took the longest was all the stone that you need. Okay, so we came out through here. The torches are leading down this way. Yep. All right, so we're ready to go in. I don't know why, I'm still nervous to go in here. All right, so basically what you have to do is build out that way. That way, as soon as we spawn in, we can just turn around and go to the farm. I just noticed that once you beat the dragon, the end turns purple. That's kind of cool. We're just gonna come out here for 2 stacks of leaves. So we're gonna go all the way back this way. So 128 blocks should be good, but I just want to run a little bit farther so that way we get the maximum efficiency from this farm. All right, so quick little update. We built up all the rings that we needed. We put the carpet at the bottom so the Endermen don't spawn down there. And we came out a couple blocks. Endermen are already spawning up here. So what we need to do now is fill out this whole 31 by 31 square. And then we're gonna throw in the Endermite so the Enderman can be drawn to the Endermite and fall down in this tube. All right, so we're at the top of the Enderman farm. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of Endermen endermen around us. We're about to get the endermite to put into the farm here. So we're gonna put the rail down and then the minecart on top of the rail. And now we can just wait until endermite spawns. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That was weird. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Oh, yes, we got it. Let's name the endermite Underbite. Underbite the endermite is now in place, and this is exactly how it works. For some reason, they don't like Underbite the endermite, and they chase them all the way to the middle till they fall down to their very unfortunate demise. And then we will be on the bottom to collect what we need to collect. All right, so now we have the fully working enderman farm. The only thing is we forgot a dropper, and then now all we have to do is just boom. A lot of XP. So instead of ending the episode there, we're gonna go to the Nether and we're gonna kill some ghasts, and we're gonna use the equipment we have in our inventory to craft some end crystals, go back to the end and fight the dragon on camera, because I just can't live with the fact that that file got corrupted. That is so unfortunate. We got what we needed. Yes, sir. We got 4 end crystals. Let's jump in and fight the dragon for the second time. So we just built this. This is kind of scary how they spawn right here. I'm a little bit nervous. I hope this doesn't like glitch out or anything, because that would be really unfortunate. All right, so what you do is you take the end crystal, you put it there, and you put it there. You put one there, and then you put one there, and boom. Okay, there we go. All right, this time we double checked to make sure we're good. So it doesn't look like it's glitching or anything like that. So we're good to start taking down these. Gotta move. Okay, gotta get out of that. That is no bueno. That is no bueno. We forgot to bring glass bottles. That's what we forgot. Everything else is doing all right with. Get out of here. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. No. Oh my god, that was so close. Oh my god, I'm so scared. My heart is beating so fast. That did not happen the first time. We looked at a bunch of endermen. They are angry. Oh, no, no. Gotta go. Alright, if we need to, we can run back to the XP farm. Just to get rid of these endermen. Oh my god. These endermen are giving us a little bit of trouble here. This did not happen the first time, but stuff happens. Oh my god, there's a lot of them. We just need a break for a second, cause all right, we didn't need to use the golden apple, thank God. But these endermen were causing some problems. Goodbye, and good riddance. That was scary. That was scary. All right, so we can go back and continue fighting the dragon. Woo! Panicked a little bit. All right, that was not fun. That was not fun. It'd be so unfortunate if we respawn the dragon just for the video and we die. Nice. I did not mean to do that. Wow. All right, so I think we're good on the pillars. I think we're good. Oh my god. Oh, why did it just fly over here like that? That's kind of funny. Still got to be careful here. Okay. I don't know why I'm like a lot more nervous than I was doing this the first time. The close call kind of scared me. Got a blast. Is that gonna do it? Nope. Turning again. Nice. All right. We beat the Ender Dragon for the second time, so it's gonna open up the second end gate. And there she goes. Boom. All right. So now that the dragon is defeated, we have that end gateway, and then we have that end gateway. So we have 2 end gateways now. All right, that is going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry about the inconvenience with the corrupted file. It was rather unfortunate, but we made it up in the end and took down the dragon yet again. All right, welcome back. Last episode, we went to the end and got ourselves a pair of Elytra, and we got some shulker boxes. We also beat the end dragon, got the egg, which is right there. Yeah, the file got corrupted for the dragon fight, but we went back and redeemed ourselves and almost died because of it. But off camera, we finished the bottom floor. Oh, we also did a little bit of texturing, like I said I was gonna do, and finished the interior. And this is what it's looking like. Got a nice little closet right there. It's pretty cool. I turned on the Better Leaves resource pack. Yeah, it just looks fuller. We textured the floor. It looks so much better. It looks like, I don't know if you can tell out here, it just brings a build together. When you texture walls and floors and stuff like that. We did the ceiling. Pretty nice. And we do have a second floor. Yeah, you can see the leaves, the difference. The second floor is not really, I don't know how I feel about it. Kind of just threw it together. It's not the most grand thing as of right now. Let's go outside real quick. We also finished the pond and it's looking good. We threw the axolotl in there. But for today's episode, I plan on making an iron farm, and in order to do that, we have to clear out all the stuff we have over here because I want to put it over here, and then also I want to fill in some of this space over here. It's gonna do for now. Yeah, the plans we have for this build is gonna be like gigantic, honestly. So yeah, the farm itself produces a lot of iron though, because it spawns 4 iron golems at the same time. We're gonna dig this, and then we're gonna dig down another block, and then in the middle of this we're gonna dig down 30 blocks. All right, so we have the farm completely built. Yes, you're gonna fall to your demise. We have villagers down in this hole here. We just need to get villagers and all the rest, so 3 more. So I got the beds here for when it's nighttime. That way we can just kind of get them in there. Go down and look at the collection system real quick. But yeah, so the iron golems drop down here. They take damage from the lava up there, and then the iron comes in through here. All right, so as of right now, this is how we're transporting all of the villagers. Not the most efficient thing. I could do a mine cart, but we have no iron, which is, you know, the point of this farm. That is 3 villagers. Boom, gone. Try to grab this bed. Yep, got it. And 1 more. Nice. So this is now complete. So this side is done. Yeah, two iron golems. Yeah, so every couple of villagers that we get into the spots, an iron golem spawns. So for every 3 villagers is an iron golem. So far we have these 6 and then 7. So we need 2 more for that side and then 3 more for that side. So we only need 5 more villagers. All right, all the villagers are in place. All right, so that should be that's an issue. I just hope iron golems don't keep spawning on the outside of this. See what we have for the drop so far. Ooh, that is a good amount of iron. We're gonna use this iron to make a beacon. So yeah, by the end of this episode, I want to fight the wither. What we're gonna do is, so I think we're just gonna make a couple fields while the iron farm is running, and by that time we should have enough iron to make a beacon so we can start collecting the materials for the iron farm build, because the build that I have in mind is pretty sure it's gonna be really big. So we're trying to figure out where we want the crop fields, and I put some lines of stone around just to kind of get an idea. So what I had planned was just to put like some natural type of stone wall. We cleared out a little bit of land here because I want everything to be kind of leveled. I think what I want to do first is, obviously I want to get the land tilled and plant all the crops down, just because like while we're working on the aesthetic of the crop field, I just want it to be functional as well. And water sources travel 4 blocks in every direction. So right here we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this whole patch of land right here is covered all by that 1 water source. I really don't have a method to this. I kind of just do everything randomly and hope it looks good. Coming out from here, this is actually gonna look really nice. I have a feeling that I'm gonna enjoy this. All right, so if you want to conceal the water sources and you don't want to keep falling in them, you can just put a top slab, right? But it's still gonna remain a water source because you can waterlog slabs. And on top of that, now you can put like little light posts, which is what I'm gonna do right now just to show you. So I'll go by 3 fence gates, I'll put 3 trapdoors on top, and then I'll just slap some lanterns under the trapdoors. That way it looks like nice little lamp posts. And then also, you know, I'm gonna do that on all of these as well. But also you could be fancy and throw in some chains if you would like. And now that we have an iron farm, we can actually make like a good amount of chains. We've been kind of, I mean, made a decent amount of chains. We've just been kind of living off of scraps. Look at that, we don't even have any chains on us. This is embarrassing. So let's go down to the iron farm. Now is actually a good time to see what we are producing. Yeah, we definitely have enough for a beacon now. 13 chains. That's the most we've had in this server at one time, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to be fancy, this is what I'm talking about here. Watch this. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be real nice. Put one of these here. So you have to crouch and place the lantern, because if not, it's just gonna flick the trapdoor, right? And then throw a chain. Ah, that one's on a lower level now. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna put these all up in here. Just gonna make it all nice and decorative. Yeah, so we pretty much got most of the lamps set up. I gathered a bunch of materials to start decorating the walls. I mean, it's not gonna be anything crazy. It's just gonna be like a textured wall. What's in the box? We got a whole bunch of stone. All right, so we switched out all the dirt for stone on the walls, and off rip, it's already looking a lot better. So what I want to do here is add, like for the entrances, I want to add like little broken down archways. But yeah, we just been adding little stuff very slowly. Basically, we finished. I do want to put one more leaf right there just because I feel like it would look a little better. Yeah, we got an item frame with our fortune hoe here. We got a little bit of decorations over here. From one harvest though, we got a good amount of carrots and potatoes. Not bad, not bad. So we do have to make a wheat one. We just got to figure out where we want to do that. And now what I really want to do is come down here to this iron farm and collect up some iron. This thing is it's broken. Yeah, so we're gonna be good on iron for wherever, as long as we're in this server. I'm actually convinced someone is trying to sabotage me because we just killed the wither and I pressed record, I went to stop recording and it just wouldn't stop recording, and then I had to close OBS because it says it's not responding. So I don't know what this is about. Honestly, the two most important times this has happened. It's happened like one time before that. I don't remember for what, but oh yeah, it was for the storage building. But I don't know why this keeps happening. It's kind of in the most inconvenient times possible. It's a little unfortunate, but we'll go back. We'll get some more. We'll get another wither and do the same thing. But yeah, we got a couple diamonds. We got some blocks from him. We're happy about that. Oh my gosh. See, stuff like that. Like I could have just fell in there and it could have been over for me. But anyways, that's why we have the fire resistance potions, just for any situation like that, because I don't want to lose this hardcore world. So it is a good thing I brought this fire resistance potion, because I just got slapped off the top of this into this lava pool. So yeah, that was scary. My heart is beating so fast. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. I'm glad I was thinking about using it too, but I'm glad I didn't. That'd have been bad. We would have lost the hardcore world just now. But yeah, my heart literally dropped when I looked down and I seen I was falling in the lava. I panicked because I forgot I had this on me. But oh my gosh. All right, so finally, at long last, we got 3 wither skulls again. Yeah, that took a lot longer than I wanted it to, but you know, it's fine. So we got all the materials that we need yet again for this wither fight. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring it all the way down here. Yeah, we can kind of put it in a corner and beat it up. Sounds horrible, but it is. So do I have everything I need? I don't. Look at that. I was about to start it without a bow. I think we're good to just do a little bit of that and back up, because yeah, the blast radius from the wither, I mean, we have blast protection on our chest. Blast radius is actually pretty far. All right. It takes a lot of damage pretty quickly. All right. And there he goes. The wither falls yet again. No diamonds this time, but we do have a bunch of deep slate, and I will take this all because it's free. All right, yeah, so hopefully that file doesn't get corrupted this time. Let's test that out. So for the looks of it, it seems like we're good. But now that we got everything we need, we can actually make 2 beacons, which is nice. So we need obsidian glass and the nether star. We're gonna make 2. Boom. Nice. All right, now we can look for a place to set up our beacon underground. I usually set up the beacons underground. That way the radius depends on where the beam of the beacon itself is. So if you build a beacon above ground, eventually when you go deep enough, like whatever effect you have on will run out. All right, so we dug down, we made a little bit of space underground, and boom, there we go. All right, so materials required. We got a good amount of stuff here. Initially I had planned for a 21 by 21 square. We ended up going with 33 by 33 just because I wanted to kind of hide these trapdoors. Yeah, so the reason I'm using 33 by 33 or trying to use 33 by 33 or 21 by 21 is just because I want to line up pillars with 3 spaces in between of every pillar, just so we can have a little more decoration. All right, so we ended up going with 27 by 27, and now we're filling in the second layer. We have to come up 3 more blocks. We're just gonna keep using stone bricks just because, like, I like starting with stone bricks and then texturing after. I just feel like it's easier and it just looks better when I do it this way. I'm in the process of moving actually, so I feel like the recording process is gonna get a little bit smoother after I'm fully moved. I'm currently working off of 1 monitor, and I mean, it works. It's been doing the job, but a dual monitor setup would just make it a lot easier working with OBS and all that stuff too. So I'm excited about that. So unfortunately, I severely underestimated the proportions of the height of the build. So yeah, we just tore down the top 2 levels or 3 levels, however many. I definitely want this to look good, and it just looked really flat. We're just gonna build this up probably to like 7 high. That's what I usually do. I don't know. I was just thinking of a pyramid, and I don't know why I was thinking 4 high would be okay. But anyways, all right. So we're gonna build this up 3 more blocks all the way around, and then do the same thing for the next couple of layers. And also, on top of that, I'm thinking about doing like towers on all 4 sides. I don't know. I think that would actually end up looking pretty decent. But yeah, we're gonna build this up by 3 more blocks, and then do the same thing like 4 more times. And yeah. All right, so we have built up the main structure. It actually looks a lot better than I thought it was gonna look, which is always good. Yeah, we ended up throwing the beacon inside, but I'm gonna keep the cobble deep slate on the outside as like the trim. I want to try to destroy it a little bit, nothing too crazy. Like once we get it fully built, I'm gonna take some blocks away, have it just look a little beaten down, kind of like this, but less stone types. I don't think I'm gonna use tough. I'm gonna use very little cobblestone. I'm just gonna stick to stone, andesite, and the smooth stone bricks, just so that way it doesn't look like too crazy, because this is huge. I think we are gonna try the towers. We're not going to bring them up to this height, obviously, just because that would be very, very tall. I do like the regular deep slate instead of the cobble deep slate for the walls. I laid down a staircase in the front of the build, but I think I like the idea of how it's turning out. And I had another, that just gave me another idea to put the entrance to the beacon on this level, so in this square here. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. So I was basing this off of like a Mayan or like a Aztec type of architecture, but those stairs go all the way to the top, and the proportions are not big enough for that to be possible. I think we're just gonna put a staircase just to the top one right here, and then we'll have the beacon be in the little middle section here. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. This we're actually going pretty hard on this build. I mean, it's taken a little while. Yeah, we just passed 300 days. 300 days in hardcore Minecraft. Wow, that is amazing. Wow. Look at that. Look at us. Right now what we're doing is we are lining up the sides with the towers. So I'm trying to find like a good design, because I did it pretty simple. Like I really just did a square of just straight stone bricks. So I'm trying to like kind of spice it up a little bit just to get it looking a little bit better. But for now, we're just gonna put up the foundation of the towers. All right, so we made 1 tower so far. What we did to kind of just make this look a little bit different, there's a lot of cobble deep slate, but I mean, it still looks all right. The beacon is definitely helping out a lot. But anyways, so we put cobblestone deep slate walls on the sides, and then on top we put 2 full blocks, and then upside down stairs. So yeah, I want to start building up this next tower over here. It took, honestly, it kind of did take a little while. It took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. And on all 4 corners we're going to put a block, and on top of this we're going to add a little bit of walls to make it look a little thinner, and then on top of that we're going to add another full block, and then we have iron bars for the railing here, so I throw those in. It's really fun though making this build. Yeah, for this we're gonna use stairs instead. See if we can get a upside down stair. Yes. All right, so we're gonna do that all the way around. I keep thinking I have the elytra and I don't. And then that's gonna add like a nice little arch thing so it doesn't look so weird. So we're gonna take the cobblestone deep slate stairs and then just work them up to the middle, and then do what we've been doing for all the like the towers. So we're gonna face inwards, face outwards, do the same thing so we get all the way around the build. All right, so now that we have all the edges outlined, we're gonna take some moss, and what we did, so we're gonna go up two, and then 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we're basically just gonna do this all the way around. And let's put our elytra on. Actually take a flight over here and see if this is looking like how the other side looks. And yes, it does. It looks exactly the same. The only difference is the grass actually makes a huge difference. Honestly, that looks really sad compared to that right there, but this is looking good. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just coming up by 2 on the corners and 4 in the middle. So 1, 2, right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. But 4. Once I'm here, now I can bring the corners up to the same level as the middle. That makes sense. So these are the middle blocks. The ones in front of the stairs are the middle blocks. So the corners can come up to the same level as the middle blocks. So that's what we're gonna do. Boom, boom, boom. Right. So then on the middle blocks, next block over, go up 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then in the middle 1, 2. There we go. And then now we bust out our grass and we have 64 exactly. And what I've been doing is just doing the whole thing. I don't know. It just makes it look a lot more. I don't know. Makes it look a lot fuller. I mean, if I miss some, I'm not really stressing it too too hard. And we're gonna bust out the glow lichen and throw a little bit of that there, a little bit of that there. If you throw it on the blocks with the grass, then the grass will despawn. So yeah, don't want to do that. Have to put the lights on. Yeah, it's been pretty fun building this. A little bit different than what I usually build. Not gonna lie, I definitely stepped out of my comfort zone building these, or building this whole structure. It's still not done, but slowly but surely. All right, we should be good. I actually wanted to see how it would look without the walls here. I don't know. The wall, I feel like it might look too thin. So let's see. We just that might look a little bit better. I think I might like the full blocks better than the walls. Oh, it just looks a little more fortified. Yeah, I think yeah, we're gonna do that. All right, so all the towers are done, and let's take a step back here and let's hope we don't get blown up by a creeper. That looks all right. Looks pretty good. Sure, I think we're gonna have to use wood. Oh, also we okay. Hey, buddy. Hi. Want a hug? Me too. Coming in from over here, I noticed it actually stands out pretty well. Yeah, that is a huge build. This build is honestly a lot bigger probably than it needed to be. Actually, 100% for certain it is a lot bigger than it needed to be. We need to figure out how we can make these tower faces look at least a little more decent. Back at the top of the towers, we definitely need some decorations up here. So what I was thinking was to get some composters in the corners and flower pots in the middle. Hit them all with some azalea bushes. All right, we're back and we got some leaves up here. So we'll hit boom, boom. I mean, that's not too bad. It makes it look a lot more overgrown. We also added some vines on the sides. Boom, 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 and boom, boom, boom. All right, so yeah, we're just continuing adding some little details around the base. Yeah, this episode is getting kind of long. I've been working on it for a couple of days, so I don't know about doing the interior in this episode. I don't know how I'm gonna end up doing that because I don't stream. If you guys want to see streams, let me know in the comments. I mean, I've never done it before. I'd be willing to try it at least. I think once we texture all of this, it's just gonna look a lot better. Because right now, I mean, it looks alright. It just definitely could use some texturing. And we went to get some materials off camera. We got a bunch of terracotta. I was looking for a mangrove biome. I want to get some mud. That way I can make some pack mud. I'm probably not gonna build with it, but I want to put it in the pass. I feel like that would look pretty good. I've never done that before, so I definitely want to try that and see how that looks. I mean, as of right now, the village type of area is coming along pretty good. I like how this looks in the background. It looks nice. All right, so we have been doing a lot of exterior decoration on the bottom and on, you know, the middles of the building. It's coming out looking a lot better. I think honestly we might be done with the exterior. We added some bamboo around. We put a little hanging crane just to kind of add something in the middle of this, just to give it a little bit of variation. I think that looks a lot better. We added some trapdoors and some stone buttons along the lining of the tops of the sections. We also did a whole bunch of texturing that took a good amount of time. We added some doors on the side that way because I noticed that zombies kept coming in here and the iron golems kept getting aggroed onto the zombies and it was just slowing the rates down. So we did that. But yeah, for the most part, the build is done. It took a long time, honestly. This is our starter build. And this is our sheep farm. Aww. So in today's episode, we're going to be focusing our efforts on upgrading our very sad sheep farm. Aww. But before we get started on this episode's main objective, we have a little cleaning up to do around the base, and we're going to do that in the form of a time lapse. So let's get started. All right, so now that we are done with that, we did come back and kind of expand it a little bit. We stretched it out on the left side because I felt like it was a little bit too small. And then also we put a nice little tree in here, and on the tree we put a beehive, we put a couple of lanterns. It's looking pretty good. And then we got all of our wheat and our seeds over here. We also did add this little temporary bone meal thing right here just for all the wheat seeds that we're gonna get. So yeah, now that we've done that, everything is coming together pretty nice. I like what these little garden areas have done for the area. I think what I want to do is kind of come out more towards this side and like a farmer's house, maybe right about here. So for the farmer's house, I have a small design in my head. I'm not sure if I want to use stone as the foundation or deep slate. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're probably just gonna use deep slate. So we'll grab a couple stacks of this. What else? We need some wood here. So we have a little area that we're gonna work with. I think we're gonna do this build in the form of a time lapse, just so that way we can have more time in this episode to do the actual animal farm, which is gonna be over there behind this little build here. But we're gonna set up a shape and then kind of get to building. I don't have like a exact idea of what I want to build yet, but I have a pretty good concept of the shape of what I want to build. So all right, let's get started. All right, so this is what we've got after a little while of decoration. Looking pretty good. It took a good amount of time, honestly. It took a lot longer than I expected it to take, but everything is looking pretty good. I'm liking how this is coming out. Missed a couple of signs and whatnot, but it's not bad. I really like this little area here where we have the wheat, and then on the inside it's a very small build. What these are here for is just to indicate where I'm gonna put some farmers. So I'm gonna have some villagers in here, so we have space for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I laid down a little bit of a foundation of what I want this animal farm to look like. And yeah, we just have like a big plus shape here. So what I did is I put a 15 by 15 square on the middle and then 11 by 11 on all 4 sides. So this is going to be the entrance here. I think what I'm going to do here, I'm not entirely sure of what I want to put on the insides. I know for a fact how I want to set it up though. I want the cows to be on this side. I'm probably going to put the chickens over here. I'll do like a little chicken coop inside of here, and I'll put the sheep in this area. And speaking of that, the reason that we are making this farm is to conceal a wool farm. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig down on this side somewhere over here. Yeah, we're going to make a little area where we can get a sheep farm going. So yeah, let's do that right now. All right, so now that we dug out the hole, we got a whole bunch of materials ready to get this sheep farm started. I want to put in the actual automatic wool farm before we start building. That way it's working while we're building and racking up some wool, because we're going to use that next episode. Most of you might have a good idea of what we're going to use it for, but I'm not going to say until next episode. So now what we have to do is we have the very undesirable task of hunting down some sheep and bringing them all the way over to the farm. And we have lucky contestant number 1. I should have brought some wheat. I want to find at least 2. All right, we got the sheep down in the spot. All right, so we're gonna get some wheat. We're gonna breed these guys up, and then we're gonna make their little pods, and we'll do that together. That way I can kind of show you. I mean, it's a really simple farm. It's honestly probably one of the easiest farms. A slight bit of redstone, but it's not anything too crazy. All right, so I'm gonna put grass on every side. That way it grows to it quicker. So I think this is where the first pod is gonna be. So we can kind of set this up. I'll put that on top of that, put it right here, and then we'll boom, boom, boom. So this could be the second pod, so I'll put 2. We're gonna have to take out this glass, actually. We're gonna take out these blocks behind this grass block. This block right here is where the observer is gonna be. So yeah, we need that open. So this is another pod here. Placing grass blocks in front of all of the blocks that the sheep are gonna be standing on. That way the grass grows back quicker. All right, so the observers are gonna be facing into the grass blocks, just like this. And then on top of the observers is going to be the dispenser, and we don't want it facing that way. We're going to have it facing this way. Every time the sheep eats the grass, the observer is going to detect it, and it's going to shoot a redstone signal up to the dispenser, and the dispenser is going to shear the sheep. And then we're going to have a hopper set up underneath, so we probably got to come out a couple blocks here. All right, so after we dig down a little bit underneath, so we want 2 blocks. We want to be exactly underneath the block that the sheep is going to be standing on. So 1, and then the sheep is going to be standing here. 2. Under the block that the sheep is going to be standing on, you're going to place a hopper, but you want the hopper to be leading into the chest. After you have the hopper in that spot there, what you want to do is grab out some rails. You want to crouch, place a rail on top of the hopper, and then you want to place a hopper with a minecart on top of that rail. So the reason that we do this is because for some reason hoppers on minecarts, they suck items through solid blocks. If it's just a hopper, it's not going to suck it through a solid block. So if we throw a rail right here in there, it's going to take it and it's going to end up in the chest. So boom. All right, now that we have that situated, that's the collection system. Behind all of this, we're going to place just 1 redstone dust. So yeah, in theory, once the sheep is standing here and is trapped in here, as soon as the sheep eats the grass, the observer is going to see the grass get eaten, and then it's going to fire the redstone signal into the dispenser, and we're going to put shears into all these dispensers, and we're going to have a good amount. Yeah, we're going to do the rest of that off camera, because that's a little, you get the gist of what we're doing here. So yeah, we're going to do the rest of that, and we'll come back when we have this whole room set up. All right, so after a bunch of trial and error, we got all the sheep in the right spots. What I think I'm going to do to try to make these grow a little bit quicker is just put grass blocks in between all of this. So hopefully this will increase the rates. Nice, we're producing. I'm gonna keep these extra 2 sheep in here just in case I want to expand. I can probably make these walls come out a little bit. So we're gonna go over to the iron farm, grab some more iron so we can make some more shears and put it down in there. And then we can get to building the actual structure. All right, so after a long time, it's been almost a month since I've recorded any gameplay. I recorded me putting up these walls, and the recording just didn't have my voice on it for some reason. Pro move, right? I know. Jeez. Yeah, so we got this all built up, and I'll show you some footage of what that looks like without my voice on it whatsoever. But anyways, our main focus right now is the animal farm, and we need to stay focused. So basically, the style of this roof is going to be the roof that's going to be on top of all 4 sides. So yeah, I kind of just wasted a little bit of time there, just like usual. But you know, wouldn't be an easy optics video if we weren't wasting at least a little bit of time. See, look at this. I can't even get up the scaffolding right now. This is a little embarrassing, honestly. Yeah, so this is pretty much what all the roofs are going to look like. I don't know, just kind of like alternating between the campfires and the slabs. It looks pretty good. Only thing is you can see through, there's a little gap, so we have to figure that out. So we're going to make all the 4 sides of this build look like this. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty symmetrical. Yeah, and then we'll start building up the centerpiece of the roof. We finished the plus shape part of the roof, so now we can move on to doing the middle part of the roof. Basically, what we're gonna do is the stair, upside down stair, full block, stair on top, upside down stair, full block, stair on top. And we're gonna do that, and we're gonna layer this. We're gonna do this all the way around, just like every other build that we've done so far and had a good time doing. So yeah, we will be back when this is all laid down and we have a nice little trim of a roof here. So all right, so trying out the A-frame roof, I think that might be too tall, honestly. That is for an animal farm, it doesn't really need to be that tall. So yeah, we're gonna try the stair, upside down stair, and see how that looks instead. I like how this shape is coming out. It's a little bit more round. And yeah, so we got the trim of the roof. We're gonna stay on theme, and we're gonna do spruce on the inside of all the roofs here. So yeah, we're gonna need a lot of spruce wood to fill this in, but I am liking the shape of this, and I think it's gonna look nice coming up from this little pathway right here. All right, so we placed in the walls, we placed in kind of a lot of decorations. So this is basically what I want the premise of the entire outline of the top roof to be. Yeah, we did that off camera. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna replicate this all the way around. What my plans are is to put like a nice campfire awning on this side, and have like a little entrance right here where the animals can come out and, you know, be in the field and stuff like that. So we're gonna start with the campfires, probably, yeah, I'd say about like right here. So we're gonna make a little awning, and yeah, we'll be back whenever we get this all placed in. So after multiple steps of trial and error, this is what we have now, and it's actually looking pretty good. I do kind of like this. We added a nice like diagonal type of awning. I really just kind of did this on accident. Wasn't really trying to plan to do anything. I kind of just did it. And then we made this nice little trap door. We put little buttons on it, which I thought was pretty cool to look like handles. So what we're gonna have here is basically this is where the cows are gonna be. They're gonna be in this area, and then they can, you know, free roam outside. So it looks a little more lively in the village. All right, so the exterior decoration is going pretty well, if I do say so myself. We got a nice little hanging shelf with a bunch of storage that nothing is probably ever gonna be in these chests. Same thing right here. Got a little extra storage with a little more chest, put a bunch of leaves and hay bales around. Got a bunch of campfires, got a bunch of lanterns, got a bunch of chains. It's looking pretty good. I do like this. We do have flower pots with no flowers or any type of saplings inside of them, but it's looking pretty good on the outside. So I think we're not gonna replicate this exact same design on this side, but we're gonna do something pretty similar. Yeah, we'll see how it comes out. There we go. Now that we're done with the outside, the exterior, I think it's time to move to the interior. And I did a little work off camera just so I can kind of get an idea. Look at that guy. Look at him. Just walking around, prancing around like he owns the place. Anyways, a little bit of something on this side just so I can get kind of like a base guideline of what I want to do on the inside. And I kind of like how this came out. I don't know if I should beat this guy up real quick. Nah, I think I'm going to leave him. But he's holding a flower. Yeah, he's not harming anybody. Oh, enough distractions. We're going to get going on the interior here. We're going to slap this up here just like this. Something like this. There's going to be a lot of spruce on the interior, just because I feel like it's more, I don't know, farm-like. So I brought podzol, I brought coarse dirt, rooted dirt, and I'm going to put it all throughout the build inside of here. That way it just looks, you know, a little more dirty, because, you know, it is Animal Farm. Now we're going to grab out our stairs. We're going to do upside down stair, upside down stair. We're going to grab out our trapdoors and put a trapdoor there. And nice. Now we can put the little lights here. So we're going to put a trapdoor there, trapdoor there. Trapdoors all in the same spot. And then we're going to put some fences. We're going to put a fence here, and then we can slap in the lanterns. And lantern there, lantern there. Plants in there. Now that we have finished both of these sides, I think we're going to do the chicken coop side. And for this side, I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. We'll probably kind of try to do the same thing. Not the same exact thing, but probably something pretty similar. This is actually not looking too bad. It's looking all right. Now we need to get the entrance figured out and what kind of decorations we're going to put on the entrance here. So I think we're going to line this up again with some logs and see what we can work out for design here. All right, so off camera, we did a little bit to the entrance here. I'm not sure that I like it too much. It's kind of big and it blocks the little arch that we made here. And I kind of like this archway. So I don't know if this is too big. I'm probably doing too much. I don't know. I might take this down and try again. So yeah. So after messing around with a little bit of a designs, I think this will do nice. Honestly, it's slimmer, so you can kind of see what we have going on in the archway right here. We added a little table as well in the middle. There's a lot of spruce going on here, but I think I kind of like it. It keeps the vibe nice and warm inside of here. I think what we're gonna do on this side is probably just put like a small either shelf or table and something to look just a little bit aesthetic. All right, so we added the table and a little hanging shelf type of bit here. I like what this does for the entrance. Everything is coming together pretty nice, and I would say the last thing that we have to do is put the actual chicken coop in here, which I don't know how I'm gonna do whatsoever yet. And yeah, we got to put the rest of the animals in here as well. So we got to get the sheep and we got to get the cows. And while I'm hearing this, I actually want to see how the sheep farm is doing, because we have not checked this the whole episode. So might as well show you guys the rates and what we've been doing. Like, we've just been building the whole time, and this has just been absolutely stacking up wool. I think we're gonna build the chicken coop on a time lapse just so we can save some time. We survived 500 days in our hardcore world. And on our journey up until this point, we've done it all without Netherite. And how we've survived this long without it, honestly, that's a mystery I don't even think Batman can solve. So, to improve our chances of survival in this world, I think we're going to change that this episode. And also, staying on theme, we're going to be adding a new addition to the village. And yes, our world is still not 1.20.
Oh, brother, this guy...
Don't judge me. So to get started with today's episode, we're going to gather some materials to get well equipped for our netherite mining adventure. So let's get started. As most of you may know, there's a couple different ways to mine for netherite. There's pickaxe mining, TNT mining, and bed mining. The only two options that make sense for us would be either pickaxe mining or bed mining. Pickaxe mining is definitely the safest option, but it's also probably the most time consuming. So to save a little bit of time and our tools, we are going to probably use the most dangerous method possible, and that is beds. With that in mind, we're going to need a couple things to make sure that we don't die. The first thing being beds. Then we're going to have some fire resistance potions just in case of any mishaps. And a couple of shulker boxes so we can collect all the materials that we end up gathering. Let's go grab some beds from our wool farm. And we set this up last episode and it was a fun one. Oh yeah, I didn't get to show off the interior last episode. I kind of just forgot.
Oh, brother.
Hey, that's enough. No, in all seriousness though, yeah, I am trying to get better at, you know, the recording process and making video. Look at you. You thought you were slick, huh? Just making videos in general. So yeah, I apologize if it is a little rough. We have a lot of white wool, so we'll take white beds down to the nether. This is actually pretty dangerous, honestly. So I'm a little bit nervous, actually. I know I say that. I probably said that in every single episode. Not gonna lie. All right, so we're gonna craft up all of the beds that we might potentially need. So where do we have a crafting table? Here we are. So we're gonna take a lot of beds. Oh wow. Okay. Well, we need more wood. Brother, we have all the beds that we are most likely going to need and probably more. I don't know. We will see. That is a lot of beds. So next we can start brewing up some fire resistance potions. And I think I might actually, yeah, I already have some. So now that we have that, we can grab some shulker boxes, and we got some shulker boxes. So we'll throw this in here as well. And I think that we are now ready to go. Now we just got to get in the nether and make a nice little tunnel safely. And let me put this on before we even start doing that. So I will see you guys in the nether. All right, so down in the nether, we are digging a tunnel down. Why level 15 is the most common place you're gonna find netherite. So we're gonna do that, but well, we gotta dig somewhere else. So back up to the top. All right, so we found a different spot and we dug out a little bit of a corridor. Now that we've done that, we're just gonna dig in. Oh, wow. That was easy. Wow. All right. Okay. This is not scripted. We're just gonna dig out in all different directions and put the beds down and, you know, blow it up. So Alright, so after 2 full shulker boxes of beds, we have 24, which is not bad, honestly. I don't know if that's enough to get all of our armor and tools, but that's a decent amount for the amount of beds that we had. So now that we are back in the overworld, we can smelt this down into netherite scraps. And yeah, our, our smelting station is actually very, very sad. So we're gonna have to wait here for a little while. Yeah, we should definitely probably address this in the near future, but that's otherwise to the point. So now we can come in the crafting table and craft up some netherite ingots, and we can only get 6. So after 500 long days in this world, we finally have netherite. Look at that. Yes, sir. We are almost kitted out. We still need 8 more netherite scraps to finish off the armor set. And then also I want to get a couple more just so that way I can have some extra tools. We do need a netherite fortune pickaxe, and I want to enchant one of these bad boys. So after an hour of bed mining, we got 3 pieces of netherite ingot. So we are going to get the achievement right now for cover me in debris. Very loud, and here it is. Boom. And while we are hearing very loud noises, ooh, there goes another one. Serious dedication. Now we are fully netherite out. Phase 1 of becoming overpowered, complete. Phase 2, that is a future problem. But for now, we can focus on the building portion of this episode. So what's the plan? SpongeBob. All right, great plan. No, in all seriousness though, I do want to build a blacksmith. That way we have a nice spot to put our new shiny armor. And I feel like blacksmiths are just necessary to have in your world. So yeah, we're going to get started on that. I think we're going to try to find a place to put it. So I'm really liking the way that the village is coming along. Everything is kind of centralized in this spot here. So I think we're going to stretch out the village probably more towards this way. So if you take a look, we fly up, we have a bunch of space to work with. All we have to do is a little bit of landscaping and we can do that all over here. So I think that we're going to put the blacksmith in this spot here. Probably just going to keep it simple and use stone, deep slate, and spruce, just because I just feel like it keeps everything well connected. And yeah, I don't like everything looking too crazy. I don't want it to look too uniform. We're going to use some crazy shapes, but yeah, we're going to stick with that block palette. All right, so we brought the blocks over to the spot, and I brought a little bit of blackstone and a couple of magma blocks, just because it's a blacksmith and I want it to be somewhat unique. I'm definitely going to play with some blocks here. And we lay down a little bit of a foundation. It's going to be kind of big, but yeah, so I think we're going to build up this whole exterior on a time lapse. So yeah, time lapse. All right, so about 30 to 45 minutes later, this is the type of structure we're working with. So I completely changed up the block palette, honestly. I used dark oak for the fence gates up on the top. But other than that, I haven't used any wood. I threw some nether brick in there just because, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of the blacksmith-y vibe. I had a couple more ideas. I kind of want to add like basalt pillars on the side of this. I said that was a really hard P. Jeez. Anyways, I want to add basalt pillars on the sides of this just to give it like some more depth. I don't know, I feel like it's lacking a little bit of depth. So yeah, we're gonna go to the nether and we're gonna grab some basalt, so that should be fun, and hopefully we don't die in the middle of a build. That would be really unfortunate. All right, let's see if we can find a basalt delta anywhere. Okay, here goes a basalt delta. And you know what, I did not grab any fire resistance potions, so I'm gonna take a quick stop right here. Hopefully there's no piglins around. You know what, actually not taking no chances. So I want to try to find a more accessible spot for some basalt, and actually this is perfect. I think that's gonna do. All right, let's get on out of here. That actually took way less time than I thought it was gonna take. That's so nice. That's such a nice feeling. Like when you plan to go do something and it just takes way less time than what it was supposed to take. So this is what I was planning to do. I want to have this come up to here and then put these here instead. And I need to get more end rods. That would actually probably take a lot longer than doing what we just did. I'm kind of getting into a flow right now, so it's nice. I enjoy Minecraft. Wow, this build does not match this rainbow right now. This build looks so menacing. It actually, I like it. It's very dark. Yeah, it definitely doesn't fit in this area. But yeah, we're gonna build more stuff going this way and that way. It looks more like this, more stony variants, more established, darker. I guess a little bit of lore could be prophesized or whatever about this area. But anyways, so I'm trying to spice up the roof just a little bit because it's still looking a little plain to me. So on this side, so we're gonna come here and then we're gonna make a nice little window because I do like what these do for roofs, especially if the roof is like kind of flat. So we added a little awning here. So we're probably just gonna put like supplies and all the stuff that the blacksmith would use. And I think we're still gonna probably add the forge area on this side. Yeah, so far I am liking the way that it's looking. It looks a lot different than all the other builds. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple build, honestly. I try to mix it up a little bit with this little spot right here. But now what we're doing is we're just making the entrance. I'm trying to throw in a little more nether brick. That way we can get some more color. So I still feel like the build is lacking a little bit of color, even though we got the nether brick in there. So I think we're gonna start using some wood. We probably might use dark oak wood, honestly, just to keep everything kind of similar. So right now we're gonna make this awning and then connect it up to another build on this side. So we can do that on a time lapse. Just kidding, we cannot do that on a time lapse because we have no dark oak wood. So we have to go farm some dark oak wood before we can do that. Which luckily I planted I planted one dark oak tree. All right, this might take a while. All right, we got a stack and a quarter of dark oak logs. Now we are going to mend up our tools, actually. So the way that we're gonna mend our tools is an extremely OP method on getting XP and emeralds that we set up between episodes last episode. So last episode we built this, we didn't put anything inside of it, and then between episodes I put these farmers in here and I kept zombifying them and curing them, so that way their trades can go down to 1 potato and 1 carrot, and ideally 1 pumpkin and 1 melon, because we did set up a pumpkin and melon farm between episodes as well. And that's underground doing what it does, and it's pumping everything up into here. Yeah, see, we're already getting full. That is crazy. But yeah, look what it does to the tools, and it's pretty easy. This guy's selling potatoes for 2. I think I might have to let a zombie come pay you a visit, brother. Doesn't want to change his mind. That's fine. So with all of that out of the way, I have put on a masterclass performance in procrastinating this episode. So yeah, we did a little bit of stuff here, but nothing that we haven't done before. So yeah, that's how that's gonna work out. So I guess we can build up this side of the structure now, and I think I'm gonna add a few more little details to kind of spice this up a little bit. Let's get into the rest of the build of the interior so we can progress and move on. All right, now that we have that taken care of, this actually adds a lot to the build itself. We definitely have to do a lot of texturing. I want this to look really beat up, so a lot of cracked stone, a lot of andesite. Now we could focus on doing the chimney outside the little forge area, which is gonna be, I think I'm gonna put it on this side, because yeah, that just doesn't make sense for it to be on this side. Yeah, so we can get started on that. I gathered a bunch of blocks from stonemasons for this purpose. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. We'll see what we come up with here. So we made a decent amount of progress. I've really never made a build like this. I know I say this probably like every episode. I feel like I say a lot of things every episode, but I'm actually really enjoying how this build is coming out. This is actually pretty nice. I am having a great time building this build. Did a little bit of stuff off camera here, and I will show you what that looks like. We did this whole little section here. We put a whole bunch of random blocks, stuff that has to do with blacksmithing and some nether wood. I don't know what, I don't know, lore. We didn't come in here yet, and on the inside, we are going to be putting a whole bunch of different types of villagers. So we're going to put toolsmiths, weaponsmiths, and armorers all in here in their own little pods. Kind of like how we did with the farmer's house. So this is basically going to be like a blacksmith trading hall. So honestly, it's a lot different than what I usually build. I've never built like a chimney. This chimney's all right. I mean, for my first chimney, I feel like it's really not that bad. I like it. I really like how the structure came out. Just like all the rest of these structures, I've doubted them in the beginning and ended up proving myself wrong. This is definitely one of my favorite exteriors so far. I just like the little details that we put on the outside. I've never really went this crazy with like a blacksmith build. We got some anvils, you know, blacksmithy stuff. We got this nice little lava tube that it just looks cool, and put a little magma around it. I thought that looks pretty cool, and I like this chimney right here. We put some furnaces on the inside, a little bit of storage, and if you walk over here, we got more anvils, and then we put a whole bunch of grindstones around with chains everywhere. We got some more coal blocks, just put some campfires. I always think campfires make everything look a little more messy and homey and like lived in, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this right now. What we could do is probably sort out this floor area. I definitely don't want it to be path block. I want it to be, I don't know what I want it to be, but I know I don't want it to be path block. So we're gonna figure that out, and yeah, we'll be back when that's all figured out. All right, so a little bit of time has passed, and we have completed the outside floor design, I guess. We kind of just threw a whole bunch of blocks in here, random blocks. We got tough blocks, we got deep slate, we got gravel, we got everything. Oh, also, while I was doing that, I came up with the idea. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but a cauldron with lava in it. That's actually, I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier, but we put them in both spots. And then, yeah, we changed out the whole floor, and it's looking really good. Like I said before, this is actually probably one of my favorite builds, the exterior. It just looks, it's coming together so nice. I think with the floor being wrapped up, we can shift our focus to the interior. I put down some deep slate on the inside, and I did a little thing here with the red glazed terracotta. I'm not sure how we're gonna set it up completely yet. I know, like I said, I know I want villagers to be in here, so I think we're gonna move that, but we're gonna do all that off camera because that takes ages. So we will be back when we have the interior kind of set up, and I'll go over what we did. So a little while later, we set up this minecart and we moved all the villagers into their spots, and we did a little bit of interior decoration. I'm excited to show you guys what that looks like. Are you guys ready to go through the door? All right, let's go. I'm actually really excited about it. We definitely tried something different with this little lava piece. Obviously, it's the first thing you see when you walk in. I thought this was actually pretty fun. We can actually use lava because there's no wood in this build. So I was like, why not? And we set up a nice little quartz decoration. I'm not really sure what you would even call this. Looks kind of like an X. And then we added metal bars in the middle, and then we put, very subtle, but we put magma blocks in the back of both of these blocks here. I think it looks pretty good. And then once we get the diamond armor from these armorers, we're going to be putting it on the armor stands. We got 4 armorers, 4 weaponsmiths, and 4 toolsmiths. And we put them all in their nice little pods with some soul lanterns on top. Put some candles in here. It's really dark in here, but I'm actually a fan of how dark it is in here. I don't know, just something about this vibe is really nice. We still do have a lot of interior work to do, but I think that's what we're going to do between episodes because we are running low on time here. In a future episode, we'll come back and show what we did here, but this is the most different interior that we've done so far. Yeah, I think this might be my new favorite build. Before it was the starter build just because of this side, and I absolutely love this build, but this build is a lot different, and just looks a lot more professionally made. I drew a little sketch of what I wanted this to look like, and it came out 10 times better, so I'm actually really happy about it. 10 seconds. That's how long it takes to smelt one item in a furnace. Pretty slow. So, in today's episode, we're going to be spending some time to save some time by building a automatic rail-powered super smelter. And before we get started, there's a very important matter that we attend to. 1.20. We're only about 5 months late. Honestly, never thought I would see the day. This is actually beautiful. I know I'm extraordinarily late, but better late than never, some will say. My goodness, I should have did this a long time ago. Anyways, look at this valley right here next to this nice snowy peak biome and this cherry grove biome. We have to come back to these coordinates and put a nice couple builds in here, but this is beautiful. One beautiful distraction later, and we are presented with this episode's main adversity, and that is this. Yeah, it's pretty pitiful, kind of measly, honestly. But it's a mystery how we survived this long, and this is our smelting setup. So yeah, we're gonna take care of that today. And first things first, we need to gather some materials to get that taken care of because we're gonna be building a super smelter, and we're gonna put a nice build around it as usual. So as far as functionality goes, we're gonna need a good list of things that go into this build. We're gonna need powered rails, mine carts with chests, and a bunch of hoppers, and furnaces and blast furnaces and things of that nature. So let's get started in collecting the materials that we're gonna need. Little bit of a crafting montage. Haven't done that yet. Now we can start gathering the blocks that we're going to be using for the actual build. All right, so down in the mines here, we brought our fortune pickaxe and our silk touch pickaxe because I do want to gather some deep slate for this build, and we brought our silk touch pickaxe so we can gather some ore like this redstone ore you see around us. We're going to put that all around the build for decoration blocks. Yeah, so we're just going to strip mine for a little bit, get a whole bunch of materials, and then head back to the surface to begin the build. Quick little game we can play as well. How much diamond ore do you think we're gonna run across in our mining session? Leave your guesses in the comments and go! right, so that about wraps up the mining session. So how many deep slate diamond ore did we get? It's in this box. So let's check it out. If you guessed 34, then you are correct. But a full shulker box and a fairly used fortune pickaxe later, we are ready to continue with the building process. So before I got started constructing anything, I went to the Nether to gather some basalt because I have some ideas for this build with basalt. And while we were in the Nether, we stumbled across a new nether fortress, and in the nether fortress we found the ribbed armor trim. Honestly, I really like how it looks, and I thought, why not slap it on our gear? But we can resume with the next step of the building process, and the thing that I struggle with the most is finding a location. So that'll be the next step. I think over here would probably be the best spot for the super smelter. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. So a little bit of terraforming is in our way, so let's get it out of the way on a time lapse. I completely just underestimated how much grass blocks I had to place. That was crazy. But we can move on to actually figuring out which way we want the structure to be facing. So with that in mind, I ended up placing down 2 arrays of the super smelter in different locations, just so I can get a visual idea of where I can see the build in the village. And I will leave a link in the description if you want to build this yourself. All right, so with both of them placed down, I think that we're gonna go with this one over here, just because it makes a little bit more sense. I feel like this is just gonna be too in the way. So I want to do something like the starter build where we set up the stone foundation on the bottom and then on the top have the building. So I think we're gonna do something like that. So let's get cracking. So the reason we placed a stone foundation is because I want the main build to be pretty dark. We're going to use deep slate tiles, I think regular deep slate cobble, some basalt, and some nether brick. Because I do like how that palette works together and I want to try it out on this build. We have a big, nice rectangle to work with here. So let's start placing some blocks. So we pretty much have the shell of the build built out, but as usual, we ran out of materials in the middle of building. So down to the nether we go to get some more blackstone because we're gonna stretch this out this way and that way. So I will see you in the nether. All right, so we're down in the nether again, flying over our nether fortress. We are gonna look for a basalt delta to get some blackstone this time, and we did not bring any gold. Oh my god, look at him. This is not safe whatsoever. We forgot to bring some gold, so we have to watch out for our piglin friends. And we gotta worry about our friends here. Got him. Oh my gosh. Wow. That could have went so wrong. Alright, need to be a little more careful than that. Why do all of these piglins have enchanted swords? These zombie piglin and... Okay. I'm actually kind of nervous now that just happened. That just, I think we might have to get the blackstone in mines. Yeah, this is much safer. There was no way I was doing that. And without a totem? Yeah, no. Alright, hopefully this will hold us over for the rest of the build. We are back in the overworld, and the reason I wanted more blackstone is because I wanted to bring out 2 more sides to the build. It doesn't look bad, but I want to at least try to make it look a little more interesting by extending out the sides. So after adding the side walls, this is the shape that we're working with now, and it's a lot wider, but I think it's going to bring in a lot more depth, and it's just going to make the build look a lot more interesting. I know I wanted to keep the build darker, but I think for the roof, I think I might try to use stone and cobblestone to fill in the roof here. This side I might keep deep slate or a darker block. I'm not sure, but let's crack on with it and see where it goes. Yeah, I actually like that a lot more than I thought I was gonna like it. So yeah, we're gonna do that to the whole center portion of the roof. And then for these, I think I'm going to switch up the block palette just so that way it's not all the same block and it has a little bit of variation. So trying out the light roof and the dark roof, I don't think that I like the dark roof. It just seems a little bit too dark. I like how the stone kind of brightens up the build itself, like it makes it stand out a little bit more. This might be a little bit too dark, so we're going to replace this all with stone. So we sorted out the blocks for the roof. Now we can do the exterior decoration, and I have a couple ideas, and this is why we gathered the basalt, so we can take the basalt and run the pillars all across the build. Yeah, something like this. That looks pretty nice. I do like it. It does need a lot of extra little details on the outside, and we do have a nice little decoration that we're going to put right here, and I think we can work on that right now actually. So for the decoration that I have in mind that we're going to put on the middle of the build, we're going to need some chains, we're going to need some quartz, we're going to need some end rods, and the last block that we're going to need for the decoration is a block that we actually haven't used in this world yet, and that is crying obsidian. So we're going to have to find a ruined nether portal to acquire 3 crying obsidian. We could use this one, but this one is really close to what we have here, so I kind of want to leave it natural. And would you look at that, we found a ruined nether portal not too far from where the village is at. I don't see any crying obsidian. There's no crying obsidian. That's unfortunate. I don't think it can be that hard to find a ruined nether portal with crying obsidian. I stand very corrected. This was took a little while to find. As you can see, it's nighttime, so it looks like we have the perfect amount of crying obsidian, thank god. Look at that. All right, so now that we're back home and after a quick nap, we can start decorating this centerpiece of the super smelter build. We're gonna make a little diamond shape and then put some stuff on the inside of the diamond, and I'm actually really excited to see how this turns out. So after we have all the blocks placed in, we're working with something that looks kind of like this, and I know it's kind of hard to see with the scaffolding in the way, but I think it's looking pretty good. It looks like it's in the right spot. So now we can do the details on the inside. So the design that I have for the inside of this, we're gonna line end rods up all across the bottoms and all across the top, and we're gonna end up having something that looks like this. All right, so now that we have that, we can bust out our chains. Actually, before we bust out the chains, this is what we wanted to use the crying obsidian for, so I wanted to put it in the middle just like this. Then we're going to take the chains and we're going to line up the chains all through here, and we come out with this pretty nice effect. It looks kind of like an eye, pretty on theme considering that this channel's name is Easy Optics. So let's see how it looks. So now that all the blocks are placed in, this is what it's looking like, and I'm actually very happy with this. And I kind of like how it's crying obsidian and it's supposed to be an eye. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, all right, that definitely completes the middle look here. I'm not sure if I want to add a little extension to this roof right here. Maybe, I'm not sure, but we're gonna do some more decoration on the exterior and then we can get started on the interior. The foundation definitely needs some love, so we can get to work on decorating the foundation right now. So I want to do pretty much the same thing that I did with the starter build and line up the sides with the soul lanterns. So yeah, as you can see, this does not add a lot of light, but it adds a lot of color, and I like that. I ended up crafting some hanging signs so we can put it in between all the pillars on the foundation at the top, just to kind of fill this out a little bit. And since we're using dark oak, I think we're gonna place some dark oak trap doors in here. For the most part, I am enjoying how this is coming out. We threw some buttons, some stone buttons across the top just to add a little bit more detail. I like how this is coming along. I think for now we can actually start making the super smelter itself. So I think for this level here, we're gonna put the regular furnaces instead of the blast furnaces. Since we're doing 15 furnaces in total, we needed 45 hoppers for one super smelter array. If you're gonna build this, you should definitely probably have a decent source of iron. So now is about figuring out how we're gonna make the redstone work here. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what we want, and now it should come back and beautiful. And I can turn this off and then they will stop right here. So the way that this works is you put the resources that you want to smelt down in the top, and then the coal or the fuel source will be in the back. So that's what we set up the back hoppers for. And then once this all gets smelted down, it's going to come through these hoppers and end up in this chest. So now we have this all built up. Now we can start decorating what it's going to look like. So for the design in here, I think I'm going to use quartz stairs. That way everything is not so dark, because the walls are very dark and the floor is already stone, so we can't really use stone like that. So we're going to place upside down stairs all along the top row of hoppers, and then on top of this we're going to line up some type of railing just so that way we can see the minecart go back and forth.
2 hours later.
So after a painful amount of time of trying to get this to look at least a little bit decent, I think I finally might have figured it out. Okay, so that works for that. Does this work for this? No. So far this is the best that I can come up with. That way we can get to the fuel chest and the items that you want to smelt. So I think this is just gonna have to do for now. Now we can focus on doing something else, and I think what I want to do is probably just take these iron trapdoors and run them all along the top of the rail. I think that looks all right. And then so when we start this, we're gonna see, Okay, a little bit of a view. Was all that struggling worth it for the rail? Maybe not, but we won't talk about it now. We're probably gonna put the staircase on this side. So I think something like this should work out. We can add some more storage in here. Now that we have upstairs figured out, the main idea up here is definitely gonna be the lava farms. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put them yet, but I want there to be a chest right here with a hopper line going all the way down to the bottom floor, the basement, where we're gonna put the blast furnace array. With the lava farm on our agenda, we actually don't have the materials that we need to make the lava farm because we need dripstone, and I think we have 2 in our chest if I remember correctly. Yes. We're gonna need a lot more than that. So yeah, let's go mine some dripstone in our first cave. So far we have had no luck. This is a pretty big cave, but no dripstone. So oh my gosh, gotta be careful, buddy. Is this it's a regular diamond. Nice. Love stone diamonds. So no luck on the first cave. A little bit of a ravine here. And let's see where this goes. Yeah, it doesn't look like it leads anywhere. Let's see. I see creepers. I see 3 creepers. That's a lot of creepers. I think we're gonna go this way then. Yeah, it is dark in here. Oh my god, I see more creepers. This is a creeper cave. Doesn't look like this is a dripstone cave either. Alright, cave number 3. Let's see what we're looking at. We're looking at more creepers. Alright. And yeah, this definitely did not just pay off. Came down here for no reason. Be gone. Okay, that was pretty stupid. No luck in cave 3. Let's try another one. All right, this looks like this is where dripstone would be, and I don't think it is where dripstone would be. It's not looking like it. Nope. All right, what about in here? I did see a little opening in this little cave here, and usually dripstone generates kind of in stuff like this. That way we can be done with looking for dripstone. Let's see. In the water. No, this is a nice cave, but no dripstone. Incredible. Yeah, no. Wow. There's a village in here. What the heck? But no dripstone. Yes. All right, we found some dripstone, and we also found a good amount of threats. So let's take them out real quick. Fighting a creeper and a skeleton at the same time always spells disaster. If you mine the bottom, does it give you all of it? Yes, it does. Nice. All right, so when making a lava farm, it actually doesn't require too many things. Pretty simple farm to make. So I think we'll start it, I'll say about right here, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the middle. So then you're gonna take your cauldrons, line up your cauldrons. From here, we can line up some more blocks, and then under the blocks that you put above the cauldrons, you can place in the dripstone, and then you can come out and bring blocks all the way around just like this. And you can make this look however you want, but these are the mechanics, just so you can see how the farm works. Then you put lava buckets in the top, that way the lava could fill up the cauldrons. It takes a little while for the cauldrons to fill up with lava, but that is definitely one of the simpler farms that you can make. So I think we're gonna do another one on this side and probably one right here. And just like that, the lava farm is fully set up. For functionality, we set it up pretty quick. So I want one to go here. Then we're gonna put the buckets in here, and we're gonna have a hopper line running all the way down to the basement where the blast furnace array is. And in a sense, that is a unlimited source of fuel because you can use lava buckets as fuel, which is pretty nice. So now we can come down to the basement. I think we got to work out a floor here. So I think we're going to be using stone for the floor. So we finished the floor and it is looking very stony, but yeah, we did a little bit of texturing to the floor. And now that we've done that, we can add the blast furnace array in here. So I will get back to you guys when this is all built up. So we set up the blast furnace array, and while we did that, we did the little hopper line system from the lava farm just to see if it works, and it does. So that is a good sign. So I will show you what that looks like. If you go all the way upstairs, so there's 3 floors, there's the basement down here, then you walk up the stairs, and this is the lava farm. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of iron in here with buckets, and once we collect this lava, we're gonna throw it in this chest, and it's gonna take it and it's gonna put it all the way downstairs. So if we come downstairs, here's the chests. So I just want to see if this works real quick. So we have some nether gold ore here, so I just want to see if we can even use the lava as fuel. Yes, we can, and I want to see how that works with the bucket. All right, I think it takes out the bucket immediately. Yes, it does. Oh my god, that's beautiful. And look at that. Look at the gold coming through. All 17 ore cooked that quick. That was very satisfying. And the buckets are renewable. So for the most part, that's actually pretty nice for functionality. I do enjoy that. So not too bad. It's definitely going to save some time, which was the purpose. So I'm happy about that. Minecraft's newest update, Trails and Tales, has been out for a while now. And with it came a bunch of new features that up until this point, we haven't been able to work with. We've actually been playing a disgusting game of catch up. But now that we've finally updated our world, we're going to be integrating some of the new changes, starting by turning the small island into a cherry grove trail. So let's get started. So this is the island that we're going to be working on, and as you can see, these are not cherry trees. So we got started by cutting down all the trees on the small island. That way we can come back and replace them later with cherry trees. So now that we got that taken care of, we have a lot of space to work with. I know for a fact that I want there to be a bridge to access the island, a small cabin, a few small custom ponds, cherry trees of course, maybe some campsites, and a feature you'll have to wait until the end to see. It's worth it, I promise. I know that we don't usually plan our builds, but since this is a bigger scale project, I think that it warrants at least a little bit of planning. So we're gonna go down to the wool farm that we set up in episode 5 and grab some wool so we can start laying down some outlines of where we want things to go. So we got all the wool that we are gonna need, and also we made a fully upgraded set of shears, mostly because I just felt like spending some levels. Anyways, before we get started placing the wool down, I do want to find some nice inhabitants that we haven't ran across in this world yet, and yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do right now. So let's go on a little adventure. And before we go find our friends that are gonna inhabit the island, we are gonna need a couple things, and one of the things is already in my hands, and yes, you know where this is going. We are gonna get some sniffers to put on the island and be some nice inhabitants, just because we don't have any sniffers yet. So unbreaking and mending. And for those of you who are watching that don't know where to find sniffer eggs at, it would be in a ruined underwater city where drown spawn in a warm ocean, and we want to find 2, that way we can breed them up and, you know, make more. So I thought this was what we were looking for, but no, this is just a ruined nether portal. Very good. And a dolphin, apparently. He's playing in the bubble. So we have been swimming and enjoying this nice little view here, and looks like we have found what we are looking for, and we can tell because of all the drowned around here. So let's take care of these guys. This is actually a crazy place to find a drowned temple. This is beautiful. All right, let's start the search. We got our first piece of suspicious sand here, and what's it gonna be? Looks like a wooden hoe. We are not interested in any wooden hoes, so hopefully this doesn't take too long. Oh, I think we got it. We got our first sniffer egg. Yes, sir. Let's go. All right, one more. That was actually not that bad. All right, let's see. We got another piece here. Another sniffer egg. Give me another sniffer egg. It's a golden nugget. Don't want that. That is... Come on. Gary needs a new pair of shoes. That wasn't what we were looking for. First one was nice and smooth. The second one, not the same story. It is looking like a golden nugget. We do not want that. Let's see where our luck resides with this one. Let's see. Hopefully. Ooh, a pottery shirt. I think this is our first one. Nice, nice, nice. A pottery shirt. I'll take it. It's better than a wooden hoe. And a golden nugget. My goodness. That is a iron axe. Don't want it. Oh! There it is. Yes, sir. Let's go. All right. Nice. That took a long time. Goodness gracious. Hey, we're celebrating, please. Okay, maybe not. Well, since I'm here, I might as well finish doing the rest of the suspicious sand, and then I will get back to you guys when we are back in the village. Just kidding, we found another sniffer egg, so we're definitely gonna get this on camera. Oh, that is a small jungle island. Wow, this is actually looks like some deserted island series, or like a 1-block series, or whatever they do these days. But I noticed that there is a village here, a desert village, and I want to see if we can find... There it is. There it is. Oh, yes, sir. All right, we're definitely gonna have fun with this. All right, buddy. Let's go. First time ever riding a camel. They're not that slow. I like his little eaters. And he just darts forward. This is awesome. We can officially call ourselves 1.20ers, if that makes any sense. Yeah, we're on the back of a camel right now. This is crazy. Enough distractions. We are finally headed home, and we're gonna get these sniffers put in their little spots and breed them up, so that way we can get some torch flowers and some pitcher pots. I'm excited for a couple of flowers. I don't know why, but I am. All right, so overall, not a bad haul. This is the loot that we got from the drowned temples. We're gonna go get these sniffer eggs put down on some moss because well, we're pro Minecrafters and we know that sniffers grow quicker. So let's go do that. I want to set up a small pen, probably right out here for them, just so I can start breeding them, and then we can get them moved over to the island when the island is complete and built. There they are. Now we just gotta wait for them to hatch. And the main reason I got these sniffer eggs first is because I wanted them to start the growing up process while we put down all the planning for the island. So let's get on with it. Alright, so we did a bunch of landscaping and we got the plans pretty much all set down. And I will throw a screenshot up so you can get a better view of what's going on here. So we have the white wool representing where the paths are going to go, the red wool representing where the buildings are going to go, the orange wool representing where the camps are going to go, and the blue wool representing where the ponds are going to go. And then we have the black wool representing the mystery for the end of the episode. And then also this little bit of gray wool over here. We're just going to put a little shack. And also the orange spots for the campsites. Since we just got sniffers, we can probably make these like small torch flower fields and small pitcher pod fields because we have 3 little campsites. I don't think we need 3 campsites. So yeah, with all the planning out of the way, I guess it's time to start getting into the building. So let's go. I think this is a good start. It's looking pretty good. It's just looking a little plain, so I think we're gonna start putting the roof on here and see what kind of difference that makes. I don't know what's been going on this episode, but every time I hit record, it starts to rain. By the way, the sniffers have hatched. I did end up breeding them one time to get another one. That way, you know, we can just get more torch flowers and more pitcher pods. All right, so now that we took a quick nap and the rain has stopped, we can continue on with the roof here. So what I'm thinking is I want to at least see how it looks, but I want to use grass blocks. I want it to be kind of green. Maybe we'll have a little bit of vines and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see where this goes, but let's get into it. So we did a little more detail work to the bridge and I do like how it's coming out. It looks pretty good. It's very big, but after we did that, we ended up placing down a large bamboo farm. I want to start collecting some bamboo because I do want to use the bamboo blocks, like the bamboo fences and the bamboo trapdoors for the builds over here. Since we got the bridge done, this is the access part, we can start working on the path. I want to do the same thing as we did for the path in this main village right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use some path blocks, some rooted dirt, some coarse dirt, and some regular dirt. So we can get started on doing the path here. So let's go. Alright, so we got the simple path laid down, basically just the direction in which everything is gonna flow. I'm very excited to see how this ends up turning out because I've never done anything like this. Yeah, I feel like this is probably gonna be one of my best builds so far, so I'm excited. Alright, so we widened out all the paths here. We got all the wool taken out, the white wool anyways, and I am liking how this is looking. I feel like the easiest thing probably to do next would be the ponds. We're gonna make the pond pretty similar to how we did this pond, but before we do that, we are going to take down all of this bamboo here and we're gonna have a very satisfying time doing so. So I'm pretty sure that that wasn't full grown and we almost got a full shulker box of bamboo. So we brought some nice fun equipment to play with here and I just want to see how this goes. Hopefully we don't end up regretting this. That was a lot more underwhelming than I thought it was going to be. That is a huge hole though. All right, that might work. I'm gonna do a couple more of those. All right, well, that looks like cleared out a lot of the area. I think we're gonna tidy it up a little bit and make it look a little bit better because it's looking a little wonky right now. Alright, so we got a nice outline of the main pond here. It's looking pretty stony and looks like the wandering trader is taking a liking to it. But now we got to fill it all in with water and then we're going to bone meal the bottom to get some grass in here. And then also I want to try and put some tropical fish in here so this could be like a big tropical fish pond. Alright, so after a little while, we got the pond all built up and it's looking pretty good. I'm actually really happy with how it came out. So now we can move on to the smaller pond over here, which should not take as much time. And just like that, the small pond is done. And yes, that took way less time than the first pond, thankfully. I know it's going to look a lot better once we get the cherry trees over here. And I think we can actually start placing at least a couple. So let's go grab some cherry blossom saplings and get them placed in here. What I imagine for the trees is I want them to kind of be hanging over the trail. That way you're like kind of walking through it. There's like a little arch, a natural arch provided from the tree. So this tree in particular, I wish it was facing this way. I don't know how I'm going to end up pulling that off, it might take an unworldly amount of time, but for the love of the content, we are gonna get it how we want to. So let's start placing at least a couple of these down. Yeah, so already this makes a gigantic difference. This is beautiful. It's still a little sparse. I don't want it to be as sparse, so I'm gonna try to figure out a way to kind of densen this up a little bit. But this is beautiful. It's not even close to being done, but this is definitely the vibe that we're going for. Coming around, adding some mangrove roots, trying to make it look more, you know, bushy. So yeah, since we're putting the outline of the field portion in here, I think we can start working on it actually. That way we're just kind of multitasking right now. I think I'm going to put the pitcher pods in this spot and then the torch flowers somewhere over there. But yeah, I want to see how this works out. I'm gonna grab some lights and then we can place down the torch flowers that we have. We have been collecting a little bit of torch flowers from the sniffers while we've been working. So I'm gonna go collect those and then place them in here and put a light in here and see how that looks. Well, I mean, we're not gonna be able to get the full effect. One, because I don't have any pitcher pods, and two, because they're not fully grown. So yeah, it's gonna be a work in progress here. We're definitely gonna have to set up a sniffer farm. That way we can keep getting more. But yeah, we're gonna go around adding a couple fence posts with lanterns on them just to kind of give the area a little bit more light. Kind of developing the path a little bit right now is what we have on our agenda. So now that we have decorated the path, I really like what these little pink flowers do for the area. Definitely livens it up a little bit. But now that we've done that, I want to get rid of this here. I want to put the little shack that I was talking about here, and we're going to do that all with oak wood. I want to see how this looks and how it fits in. But for the most part, it's going to be a very simple build. I do enjoy this. Definitely needs a little bit of detail work, but it's not looking bad. And a little while later, we have fully decorated the front side of the little shack, and I actually do have an idea for what we're gonna do here, but we're gonna have to do that next episode because yeah, we still have a lot of work to do. As you can see, basically what I have in my mind is to have two tower type of things on stilts. Ideally, you'll probably take a ladder up and then there's gonna be like a bridge in between and you just walk across and have a little room up here. Then I want to do it mainly out of spruce wood, just because I think that is really the fisherman's type of vibe. Let's build this up and see how it comes out. Alright, so now that we have the structure built up, we're working with a shape that looks kind of like this, and this is kind of what I imagined. The only thing that's a little off for me is this little bottom part here. I'm not sure what I want to do with this. I might leave it like that. I might not. Who knows? But now that we have this all set up, we can actually start decorating, and I want to do something pretty simple here. So we're going to do a grass block and a bamboo trap door, and then on top of that, we're going to grab out our trusty rose bush and throw it just like that. I don't want to go too crazy with this build because that is what that build over there is for that we cannot see. So instead of putting the bamboo trapdoor on the grass block, we ended up lowering it down and putting it below it with the dark oak button. And I actually really like how that looks. So we're gonna do that on this side as well. So after a little while later, we got a little bit of decoration done. We pretty much just decorated the pillars and put a little bit of decoration on the tower part. So now that we got all the detailing finished up, I am satisfied with this. I don't want to spend too much time on that. But the next thing to do, I want to put a little dock here. Nothing too crazy, something pretty simple. That way we can park some boats here and then have another access point besides the bridge. But yeah, now that you know the plan, let's get started on doing that. I've never made a dock before, and kind of like how this came out. It's not too bad. We ended up depleting our supply of campfires with this walkway, but we're not going to talk about that. But now that this is done, it looks like next on our agenda is the big build. And I'm not sure if I want to make this into a fisherman's trading hall. I think we're just going to make the structure and then we'll figure out what we put on the inside. So we got to work laying down the foundation, and we laid down the foundation in stone that we later came back and changed, just because there was a little bit too much stone in the build. But after we laid down the foundation, we ended up placing in the pillars, and we put the pillars in the wall rather than having them stick out one block like we usually do. But after that, we ended up placing in our stone walls, and then I wanted to add a dock to the back of the build. So we started out by doing the roof first with campfires and spruce trapdoors, and after that we took some spruce slabs and laid them all across the back of the build just to keep the dock floor a little bit simple. We didn't want to do, you know, anything too crazy. After that we came back inside and then changed up the floor on the inside, and then we worked our way up to the roof. It started out as a simple slab roof, but we just kept adding pieces and pieces just so that way it can be a little bit more complex of a build. We ended up cutting out a part of the roof for a sub roof, and then we worked our way over to the right side of the build, adding in a little tower on the right side. Alright, so a little bit of time has passed and we're working out the roof right now. I wanted to do a slab roof, but I think that is definitely going to make it a little bit too shallow. It doesn't really look that good from down here. What I'm thinking is I'll probably do a stair roof here on this level, and then on this level I will do the slab roof. Before we start messing with this roof again, I wanted to try something a little different on this side. I want to try to put another little tower inside of this tower and see how that looks. Alright, so with the roof being thrown on, I actually don't mind this at all. It's a little bit of variation, that way it doesn't look the same as everything else. Now that we have this done, that actually looks really nice. I like that. Now that we have that done though, we can start doing this part of the roof here. All right, so we got this whole roof part placed in. We're going to connect up the rest of the roof to this roof, and then we'll start working on the rest of the roof. For the most part, I actually really do like this build. That actually looks really good. Hey, buddy. Hi. Oh, wow. All right. Wow. That was crazy. That was crazy. All right, so now that the decoration is completed, it is looking pretty good, and I think that we are ready to move on to the interior. I did get a little bit of interior blocks. I got the candles, I got some bookshelves, and let's see what we can do with this, because this is looking rather disgusting. So all right, let's see what we can do to help spice this up a little bit. So I think a good place to start is definitely on the ceiling. That way we can make it feel just a little bit more cozy. And what I'm gonna do is I'm most likely just gonna line this all up with some upside down spruce stairs. After we get the ceiling placed in, then we will go from there. There we go. I'm just gonna block this whole entire wall off. That way this door serves as the purpose to get upstairs, because otherwise we wouldn't use this door ever.
2 hours later.
All right, so after we got the roof placed in, we ended up just kind of getting lost in the sauce and didn't end up recording the rest of it, but that leaves room for a nice reveal. So let's go on the inside and see what we're working with. What's behind the door? Yes, very nice, very nice. It did take a little while, and recording it probably would have been a little bit tedious anyways, but yeah, this is what we're working with for the first room. I did try to make it a little bit cluttered just because, I don't know, I feel like a fisherman's hut place would be kind of cluttered, but I do like how it looks. It does look pretty decent. I'm not, you know, the best at interiors, but I am trying to do better. But now that we are done with the interior on the first floor in here, we can come over here and work on the staircase going up into this tower and into the top level here. And that is probably going to be tedious too, but worth it. All right, so I think what I want to do is probably start out with a cobble deep slate pillar here, and then I'm thinking about doing a spiral staircase, so it's just going to go up and just keep going around. So the spiral staircase didn't end up coming out that bad. It is a little tight in here, but I do like this spiral staircase. I think we're actually going to have like the bulk storage up here. That way, you know, we actually use this building, because there's no storage in here for us to grab anything from, then we are most likely never going to be inside of here. And I do like this build, so I definitely do want to use it. I think this might be all that we need for storage space. Make it look a little cluttered, just like we did downstairs. Distinguished campfire right there. Might do another one right there. And then let's see, we got some candles, so might as well use them. They're facing the other way. I don't like that. Their chest on top of that. Yeah, that looks nice. I like that. Add some candles right here. Yes, they're facing the right way. That's what we like. And I think that is going to do for the upstairs. We did jam a lot of stuff in here, but I do like how it came out. I wish I would have made this for my starter build. This is awesome. I do love this build. It's nice and cozy, but enough admiration. We are ready to start the mystery portion of the episode. So we're going to do something pretty different here. Something we haven't done in this world yet. And I really hope that it goes good because if not, that would suck. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so the mystery build was indeed a big cherry tree. Who could have seen that coming? All jokes aside, I am actually really happy with how this tree came out. There's a lot of trees around here, so it's not like we needed another big one, but I did want to test myself to make a custom tree because we have not made a custom tree in this world yet, and I thought this would be the perfect place to put it. Mojang recently announced the idea of taking a different creative direction when it comes to trading with villagers, and most notably regarding everyone's favorite type of villager, and that is the Librarian. Making trades such as mending and unbreaking a little bit harder to get. How, you might ask? For example, in order to get a mending enchantment, you would need a villager that was born in a swamp biome, and in order to get an unbreaking enchantment, you would need a villager that was born in a jungle biome. And what makes this a little more tricky is the simple fact that jungle villages and swamp villages don't exist. So, rather than spending our time transporting villagers, because that's so much fun, we're going to be building a very, very big librarian trading hall. So let's get started. So in our library build, I want it to feel like an actual library. So we're going to be using a whole bunch of bookshelves, obviously. And I also want to use the new block, the chiseled bookshelf. But we're going to use this block to divide up the library into certain sections of the library. We're only going to do it for a couple books, like all the important books, like mending and unbreaking and stuff like that. Because if we did it for all the books, that would be insane. Also in the library, I do want to put an enchanting table set up somewhere in there because currently this is our enchanting setup, and it's been stashed in here with all the rest of these villagers that we have not had a place for in this world yet. And don't worry, buddies. We're going to be getting you located in a nice big library. Don't worry, I'm building something for you guys specifically. And not only that, I do want the library to have a couple dark secrets. But we'll get to that later in the episode. For now, we can focus on the exterior. And that means we have to gather some materials. Block powder is very important in Minecraft builds, and it's something that I struggle getting creative with. So today, the struggle continues because we're going to be building this out of mainly stone, but that does not mean it still won't look good. So we collected up a decent amount of stone here, and while stone is going to be the main building block, I do want to have a couple accent blocks, and I think we're going to use nether brick, so like what we have up here on these builds. So the nether brick up here, and then I also want to use deep slate, so we can actually gather some of that. So we'll do that on a very quick time lapse, just like this. Alright, so in all these shulker boxes, we collected a lot of netherite. As you can see, we're going to throw this all in our super smelter, and we can flick this on and should be in business. Now we just got to wait for all of this to melt down into netherite. Yeah, we're probably going to be waiting on this for a while. So about an hour and a half for me and literally 1 second for you. This is all the nether brick that we have now, and this should be enough. Now with all that out of the way, let's see what we can come up with. We're working with a shape that looks kind of like this. So these little spots here are going to be towers. We're going to have more towers here. It's going to be a very grand build. I'm excited to start building it up and see what it looks like. I think first we can start working on the towers because the towers should be pretty much selling point of the whole entire build. Alright, so we got one tower built up out of 4. So this is what the front tower is gonna look like. And I am trying to use Light Manica, the mod, and this mod is just not for me. So yeah, if that time lapse looked a little weird, it's because it was. I suck at using this mod, and I probably will never use it again after this. Well, everything was going pretty smoothly till a creeper party took place right here. Goodness gracious, there's 4 creepers, and for some reason I just missed all 4 of them. They blew up and wrecked what I have been working on. Very, very nice, very cool distraction. All right, let's continue. So, after a long time, and I do mean long. And why did it take so long, you might ask, or not? Well, dear viewer, the answer to that question will be addressed on a community post, most likely sometime after this video. But for now, let's focus on what you clicked on this video for, and that is to build or watch me build. Anyways, we have all of the blocks placed for the exterior, and this is what it's looking like so far. It's looking pretty good, pretty grand. I actually really like the exterior. The easiest thing and the most necessary thing to do right now is texture a little bit, because golly, this is doesn't look bad, but it's very plain. So what I'm gonna do is, since we're using mainly stone bricks, I think we can use some smooth stone, some andesite, some cobblestone, maybe some tough block, the mossy stone variants, and then also I do want to use some cracked stone bricks, and I think that will end up looking pretty good. So something kind of like this. Coming back to the super smelter for the second time in this video, we are going to throw the stone bricks up in here in order to melt them down for cracked stone bricks. I'm very glad that we made this build. So unfortunately, I forgot that this is packed full of netherrack at the moment, and I do mean packed. So for right now, what we will do while we're waiting on that, we can go back over to the library build and start taking out some blocks where we are going to texture. So I definitely want to texture along the bottom, and the way that I texture is a little bit different. If I don't texture while I'm making the build, then I'll go back and just make some random mess and then come back and fill it in with random blocks. This is probably not the most efficient way to texture walls in Minecraft, but hey, we'll see how this looks. I think I'm just gonna fill all these spaces with the smooth stone for now. So grabbing a little bit of the smooth stone, let's see how this looks. Not smooth stone, I'm sorry, regular stone. And already that looks a lot better than that. So we'll come back in here and we'll put in the cobblestone and maybe some tough block and the mossy variants as well. So I will get back to you guys when this is all textured up and ready to move on to the next step. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played hardcore in a couple months, and that was very close. I just had a mini heart attack. My goodness. That was spooky. Wow. Okay, well, other than that, we did end up getting most of the bottom of the library, even the interior, textured. We're still gonna come back in and, you know, do a little bit more with that. Not used to playing hardcore, man. I've been playing regular schmegular mode, and my goodness, whew, that was scary. Hey, bud. High five. Let's go see if the stone bricks have melted down yet.
Nope.
All right, so let's do this again. All right, so finally, after a couple months, we are back and we have the cracked stone bricks. All right, now that we added the cracked stone, we can go around adding some mossy stone. All right, a little more decoration added to the exterior. We're coming around with some oak leaf blocks and some rose bushes. Kind of spice up the entrance a little bit. It was looking a little plain, but I think this looks really good. Don't want to do too much. Building at night in hardcore is always risky, but we're here doing it anyways. And while we are decorating the outside, we might as well start spicing up the windows just a little bit. I'm gonna do kind of the same type of design that you've seen me do if you have followed this channel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the trapdoors and then upside down stair here, get a little shablam and a shabloom. I like the pop of red from the red rose and the red rose bushes. That looks very good. But as far as the exterior goes, I think we can start moving on to the interior, because the interior is, well, empty. There's a lot to be done in here. I actually have no idea what I want to do because there's a lot of awkward spaces in here. I definitely want to dig down and make this a little bit bigger. That way there can be like a couple floors maybe stacked on top of each other. But yeah, we'll figure it out and we'll do it together. And while we are planning for the interior of the library build, I do want to set up a temporary bamboo farm. That way when we go to make all the chiseled bookshelves and all the bookshelves, we have a source of wood. So yes, we are working smarter, not harder. All right, so I added some type of weird contraption here. Hopefully that works out. Let's try it. Oh yeah, I am a redstone genius. Yes. All right, now that we have this temporary piece of hoopla behind us, we can start focusing on doing the interior of the library build. And yes, I did add a little bit more decoration on the outside. So, you know, we put a couple stones here because, you know, we're pro Minecrafters and pro Minecrafters put stones on the floor. Anyways, we also switched out some of these for stairs just so it looks a little more weathered. And then also we added like a nice arch made out of stone as well. Just gives it a little bit more depth. So with my idea, when it comes to the interior, obviously, you know, the floor is not going to be grass. So I think what I want to do is dig down a couple levels. Like I said earlier in the episode, I want there to be like kind of like lofty open areas, if that makes sense. So while this churns out some bamboo, we are going to be digging and placing stone. So yeah, we're going to do that on a time lapse though, because that's kind of boring, and hopefully we can get a lot of bamboo while we do that. So time lapse. All right, so after a little while of digging, this is what we have. And yes, it does look like poo, but that is okay because we can fix that with all the materials that we collected from digging this out, which are stored here. Yes, we're gonna use all this, turn it into stone, and make it look pretty good. But anyways, after the quick update, let's get back to the time lapse. Well, we took out all the dirt from the walls, and though it looks better, it still looks not so good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go around and texture just like we did on the top. So yeah, rather than seeing the same thing for the third time in this episode, we'll just do a quick shablang. All right. Literally half a second has gone by and the walls are, you know, a little bit more textured. So I cleared out another level for the floor, and I kind of want to use quartz as the flooring, which means that we would have to go to the Nether to gather a bunch of quartz in order to make quartz blocks for the floors, which is, you know, kind of risky because this is hardcore and we can lose our entire world if we're not careful, but I think it'll be worth it. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I do not have a totem of Undying, and yeah, so if I die, there's no totem of Undying, so I'm dead and the world is gone. But anyways, that should be a fun time. Let's go collect some quartz and see how that works. Oh, here we are back in my favorite place. We are on the lookout for that stuff there, so let's gather some. So after trading with some villagers and mining a little bit of quartz in the Nether, this is the amount of quartz blocks that we have so far, and hopefully that should be enough. If not, we're just gonna have to go back to the Nether, but hopefully that is not the case. So I don't want to use actual quartz blocks. What I want to use is quartz bricks, because these look way better than the quartz blocks, at least for a floor. So yeah, let's go ahead and slap these down. So we got all the quartz placed down, and I guess what we can work on now is a floor plan. Like I said earlier, probably have like some like balconies around the outside and have the middle nice and open, and then having bookshelves on the sides, obviously. And then maybe on the top balcony is where we'll have the villagers to trade. So for the floor plan, I think that I'm going to want to use spruce wood mostly for all the, you know, stairs and stuff. So yeah, we can go collect that. And actually, before we get the spruce wood, what I want to do is go to the end stronghold. That way we can find some libraries and, you know, take all the books, because I don't feel like trading for that many books. So yeah, we'll do that now actually. So down in the stronghold, we finally found a library, so we can take these books and bring it back to our library. Alright, so we are back from the Stronghold, and this is what we got while we were there. So that is a lot of bookshelves. And then also we got a little bit of enchanted books, which is always nice, and some smithing templates. So that's always good too. And then we also cut down some trees, and then this is the amount of bamboo that we got from the farm that we set up earlier in the episode. And we're going to use that, like I said, for chests and barrels, and then book and quills for the lecterns, just to make it look a little better. So now we can start setting up. And I think what I want to set up first is the entrance. Okay, so for the entrance, I'm thinking when you walk in, there's going to be a little platform, kind of like a foyer area. I don't know if that's how you say it, but don't judge me. Anyways, we can start lining that up with some spruce wood. I don't know how exactly I'm going to decorate it. We're going to play with the blocks and see how we want to do that. I think to save some blocks though, I'm going to use slabs up here. So yeah, let's give it a go. All right, so right now we're going to do the whole balcony section. So we got the platform for the top placed in, and I think now what we can do is focus on doing the railing. So I left a 4 wide space, that way the railing can be on this block, and we have 3 spaces to walk through. And then on this side, this is where the villagers that we're going to be able to trade are, and also on that side. As far as the railing goes, I think we should work out a design for the railing, and then also I want to put some pillars probably on the corners of this, that way, you know, it kind of makes a little bit of sense. We're going to add some pillars. I'm not sure. Ouch. I'm not sure if I want to add quartz pillars or wooden pillars, so I guess we can try both and see. Looking at it from this angle, it looks like the wood makes more sense. So I think we're just going to go with the wooden pillars all around here. So we can go ahead and add those in, and then after that we can work out the railing for the top here. Alright, so we added all the spruce pillars. So what I had in mind is put some barrels around the bottom just like this, and then on top of the barrels I'm going to put some upside down stairs, and then on top of the upside down wooden stairs we're going to add some spruce fences, and on top of the spruce fences we can add some candles, and we are going to light these candles, of course, give it a nice library vibe. And you may have noticed we added a little bit of support for the pillar as well, and then more stairs on top of that, and then we added some lights on all the bottom pillars, and I think that this is coming together pretty nicely. Oh, we also added some supports on the sides as well, some stone supports. So back up top we can start working out a railing now. I did place a couple blocks in just to kind of get an idea of what I want to do, and I don't think I like this too much, so we can go ahead and take this out. And something that I think will make a little bit more sense for a railing is lecterns. Yes, that is going to be a lot of lecterns, but I think it should look better than whatever this is. So yeah, I think we can sacrifice. All right, so grabbing some lecterns, we're just going to place these all just like this, and then we're going to take some spruce trapdoors and place them on top. So this should make a nice railing. It should look pretty nice from the bottom here. Let's see how that looks. Yes, that looks really good actually. So yes, we're going to go with this design instead of the other one because the other one was kind of trash. On the corners, what I want to do is place the big pots. Does that look good? It does look good. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. Add some green in here. For this design here, what you do is you place down a big pot, you crouch, place a small pot on top of the big pot. We'll take a dead bush, put it in the small pot, crouch again, aim at the top of the small pot, and you got yourself a nice little bush here. Coming around on the sides, we're adding white banners to the trim of the outside of the balcony. Chat, do we like this? How are we feeling about this, chat? So we ended up taking out the white banners. Well, we left some on the sides. We didn't have to go too crazy. We just put the spruce signs in there. I think that's a nice blend of things. It makes it look pretty nice down here. Now we can try to figure out where we want to place all of these bookshelves and chiseled bookshelves. So for this side here, I think I'm just going to place bookshelves all along this wall. That way, you know, it kind of looks like a library. So let's do that now. Alright, so after we added the bookshelves in, this definitely adds a library type of atmosphere. It looks good, but it is looking a little bit too uniform, so I think I want to add like a little bit of a design in the bookshelves. That looks nice. I'm going to do the same thing on this side as well. We're going to come around and add some spruce pillars right here, just because this is a dead space. Alright, so with the bookshelves added into both sides, that looks pretty good. I'm liking the atmosphere that it's creating. Right now, what I want to do is try to add like some type of hallways with bookshelves, and maybe we might even have this be the book-specific hallway. So what I'm going to do is probably come out a couple blocks, 1 2 3, a couple blocks in the middle, 1 2 3, and then boom, just like this. So we're working with something kind of like this. I'm gonna place some upside down stairs and a trapdoor just like that, and then also place upside down stairs on the outside. All right, so something like this, that looks pretty nice. Coming in the spaces that we left ourselves here, we're gonna put some shroomites with some maybe not that. So we'll get some nether fences, and that looks a lot better. All right, now we're cooking. So coming back through here, we're actually going to take these out because we're going to put the chiseled bookshelves, and this is going to be the spot for the specific types of enchanted books. So I want to place hanging signs here. That way we can label what kind of books are in these specific spots. As of right now, I don't know where all the specific books are going to go, so I'm going to leave them blank. So I was coming through here, putting lanterns on these posts for light, and apparently you can hang a lantern off of a hanging sign. It's very interesting. I'm actually kind of curious now. I wonder if you can hang a hanging sign from a lantern. That almost got me. So after like 15 minutes of messing around with the design for the front of this is what I came up with. It's nothing crazy, but it'll get the job done. And in the back corners over here, we'll probably have another section for a specific type of book, and then these are going to be where the staircases are. So I did end up already making a staircase over here on this side. Yeah, it's just a spiral staircase, and that's how we're going to get up and down from the top and bottom floors. So we came through in the back corners and actually added a little stall here for a villager to trade with, and we also did the same thing on the other side. There it is, boom, just like that. And then we went around to all the towers and added in the nice spiral staircases. It's coming together really nicely. Actually, this is probably my favorite library build that I've ever made. It's looking really promising. But other than that, we did come through and we did label these sides for fortune. We have silk touch on this side, we have efficiency, and I'm not sure what I'm going to put here yet. And then back here we're going to have the mending books and unbreaking books. So right now what I think we're going to do is trade some villagers so we can get this looking a little beefier and have a better supply of enchanted books. So we can do that right now actually. Alright, so we got some efficiency, we got some silk touch, and we got some unbreaking 3 books. Right here is where the efficiency goes, so we can take these out and fill them in. It's going to hit these in a couple random spots here. So yeah, we're not going to fill these up completely because that would be way too many books, but I do want to have a collection of the enchanted books just in case we ever need it in the future. I think for mending, we are going to have a couple more because mending goes on everything, and then also unbreaking, we are going to have a couple more as well. So unbreaking will go on these 2 walls, and then mending is going to go here on this wall. Alright, so now that we have the books placed in, it's looking a little bit better, a little more full. So fortune, silk touch, efficiency. Chat, what book are we putting here? Let me know in the comments. Alright, so with the books getting placed in, I think that's going to be it for the bottom floor, and it's looking really good down here. I haven't made too many library builds, but this has been really fun, the bottom half of this area. So now we can move up to the trash can up top and work on making that look a lot better because right now it doesn't look that great. So let's do that now. So shifting our focus upstairs, we did add the enchanting setup in this little room here, and I do like how this came out. We added a little bit of crying obsidian because we love crying obsidian, and some of the amethyst crystals. That way it looks a little bit, I don't know, enchanted. Anyways, we also added a little bit of storage and obviously a grindstone and an anvil and another anvil because, you know, they break over time. Anyways, we got some storage back here, and this is definitely better than our enchanting setup that we had previously. So that is a check off the list. So now that we have upgraded our enchanting setup and it's done, I want to turn our attention to these walls over here to start setting up where we're going to place the villagers, and I want to work on a design, so we'll do that together. All right, so first I'm thinking we can line up the bookshelves just like this. Perfect. So for the pillars in between, we can use spruce wood. So we're going to have this all along the sides. That way the villagers have their own spots. We can strip these down. And after we get this stripped down, we can add some upside down stairs. On top of the upside down stairs, I want to use some oak trap doors. So let's grab those and we can slap these up here just like this. All right, so we have something that's looking like this. So far, it's looking pretty dark. So we can add the lights in. And I put the lights on this level. That way the villagers cannot jump out because we're going to have the lecterns in fronts like this. We're going to throw in some deep slate tile walls. And on top of the walls, we're going to put a potted plant, and I want to use the torch flowers for the plants in the pots. So up top here, I'm going to place a dark oak sign. That way we know which villager is which. Then come around here, add some barrels here, and perfect. Nice. This is the type of design we're working with, and it looks pretty good. So this leaves 14 spaces for villagers, which is a lot. We probably are not going to need that much, but it's better to have more than less, I guess. So with the villager stalls placed in, what we're going to do now is work on a ceiling, and I'm actually going to do that off camera because that's kind of tedious and a little time consuming. So we'll just cut back to when that's done. So we did come through and place in the ceiling. All it really is just trapdoors, upside down stairs, slabs, and glowstone with oak trapdoors as well. So with these ceilings added in, all that's missing now are the librarians, and if you haven't forgotten, the dark secret that I promised earlier in the episode. So I think we're going to put the villagers in first, and then we'll leave the dark secret for last because it is kind of fun and I am excited to show you guys what that is. So as far as getting the villagers in these spots, I think what I'm going to do is set up a minecart system to export all the villagers into these spots, and we're going to do that off camera because that is also not fun to watch. So yeah, we'll cut back again to when we have some librarians in here. So I was just doing some quick trading with some farmers to get some emeralds so I can start trading for some redstone because we need redstone blocks for the transport system, and I went to come over here to see who we're going to transport first, and to my surprise, all of the villagers are now zombie villagers. I suspect that unfortunately the main culprit would be an Enderman because this grass block is not supposed to be here, and I would never have put that there. So I'm sure an Enderman put this here, and then maybe a baby zombie jumped in here from that, and yeah, whooped all of our whooped all of our villagers. So we got the troops rallied up here, and that was a lot harder than I wanted it to be. They kept picking up the boats. Hopefully that hit all of them. If not, we're gonna have to get another potion. I didn't. Yep, didn't hit this guy. Nice. All right. Well, we'll start converting these fellas here, and try not to die while we're doing that. My gosh, getting smacked right now. So after a very long and tedious process, we got this side of the villagers placed into their booths, and we haven't labeled it yet, but we're going to come back and do that. And then this side only has one villager. We'll end up filling these up over the course of this world. Now we can move into the final part of the video, and that is the dark secrets of the library. But what I did back here is I put a little secret entrance right here behind this nice little painting. In that spot, we're actually going to put the nether portal, because right now our nether portal is still down here in this temporary spot in our strip mine. So yeah, this needs a better place to go. And then also building this nether portal, I'll probably end up putting the one in the library on the nether roof, because I do want to make nether farms, especially a gold farm that would come in handy for this world. So yeah, we're going to build out the room and get it all set up with the portal inside. All right, so we've been working on the nether entrance. This is what we have so far. We lined up the walls with some blackstone, and we did the floors with quartz. And then coming back over here, this is the nether entrance. And surprisingly, we end up where we ended up before in the nether. So I guess it's not far enough distance in the overworld to change the spawn. So that's kind of good. But other than that, yeah, this is looking pretty much finished. We got some soul campfires, some soul lanterns, a lot of chains, some crimson stem. We made like a weird design out of glazed terracotta. I thought that would be cool. Also, I wanted it to be kind of dark in here, so all the light is coming from the soul lanterns and the soul campfires. Let me ask you a question. When you think of the game Minecraft, what's the first color that comes to mind? Is it green? If green was your answer, then you're like me. If green wasn't your answer, well, then you're not like me, and that's okay. Today in our hardcore Minecraft world, we're going to be building a greenhouse along with the most green farms I can think of. And you might be asking yourself, why green? Well, dear viewer, this is a 900-day-old Minecraft world, and we still don't have a sugarcane farm yet, and those are pretty important. So this is a perfect time to make one, and also I kind of just want to make a nice looking greenhouse. Along with the sugarcane farm, we're going to be building a moss farm, a cactus farm, and a bamboo farm, all tucked away underground. That way we have lots of room for a nice aesthetic greenhouse on top. So with all the formalities out of the way, let's get started. So being that we are going to be building 4 farms in this episode, I think it's going to be necessary to split this episode up into 3 sections. The first section being the planning for the build, the second section being the farms and the redstone, and the third section being the build itself. So now that we have a little bit of structure, we can get started on the planning. So when planning for a build in Minecraft, there are a couple of things that come to mind for me, at least. Those things would be location, block palette, and like a general shape of the build. What I think would be necessary to establish first would be the location, and we have been moving out towards this way so far. We put the last couple builds for the last couple episodes out in this direction, so I kind of want to bring it back into the village, and I think that we have a nice spot for what I have in mind somewhere over here on this side, because we do have a lot of space over here. So with the location established, we placed down a rough shape of what we want the build to look like, and yes, this is a rather large box here, but it's going to be pretty nice. Half of it is going to be like an enclosed glass area, and the other half is going to be the building. So with the location and the rough shape figured out, what we can start planning for now is the block palette. And I think that I'm going to want to use green terracotta, a block that we haven't used to build with yet in this world, and it's actually one of my favorite blocks to build with. The only problem with that is we do not have any cactus, I don't believe. So we're going to have to fly out to a desert and collect some cactus so we can smelt it down and get some green dye. That way we can make green terracotta, and we're probably going to have to go to the Badlands to farm some terracotta as well. So let's go on a little adventure. Why is there so many sheep right here? What in the world is this? What? This is like a spawn miracle. If you spawned here, you'd be set, bro. Look at this. All this food. All right, anyways, back to the search for a desert. This might take a while. At long last, we have found the desert. There's a Badlands too. Perfect. We're gonna go to sleep, and then we can start farming for the cactus. All right, so a nice morning in the desert, and it sure is hot. Now that it's morning time, we can start farming up the green stuff. So let's do it. What we're gonna do now is go on top of here and shave a couple layers off of this mountain to gather up some terracotta. Also, if you didn't know, you can use a 3x3 beacon to insta-mine terracotta, which is actually pretty nice. It comes in handy. We'll do that. And we should be able to insta-mine all of this now. Yep, look at that. Perfect. All right, so we're going to gather up probably like a shulker box of this, and then we will start heading home. All Alright, so back from our expedition, we got a bunch of cactus, about a stack and a half, and a couple other things that we stopped for on the way back. We also have a full shulker box of terracotta and a full shulker box of sand. That way we can smelt this down for the glass. So we can throw all this up in here and hit a quick little shablam, and we are in business. Alright, so this should be smelting down while we are planning and doing other stuff for the build. So with all the materials acquired and the basic shape laid down, what I want to focus on now is going to be digging out the bottom portion of this for all the farms underneath. So we can do that now on a time lapse because that is going to be a lot of digging. So time lapse. Alright, so after a little while, we did get this area dug out for the farms after about 6 shulker boxes worth of supplies, and honestly, I don't think my pickaxe has been this close to breaking in this world yet. Actually, you know what? Let's check the statistics. So yeah, we have 42,000 stone blocks mined in this world. Yeah, I know it's not much compared to other worlds, but that's a lot for me. That's insane. So with this area dug out now, what I want to do is set the farms up first. That way they can be running, and then also we can link them up to the build. So I want to set down the foundation up top, so that way I have an idea of where all the farms and the drops are going to go, and then we can come back down here and set up all the farms. Alright, so after a little messing around and a very tedious process, we got the general shape and the foundation laid down for the build. So now that we have this all planned out, we can go down and start making the farms now. So we're going to have one in this corner, one in this corner, and then probably one on this wall and one on this wall. So we got a big list of things for the farms here, and we got a bunch of pistons and observers for the sugarcane and bamboo farms, and we're going to make those farms first because I feel like those are the easiest farms to make. So I got a bunch of mud. I think we're going to do the sugarcane farm first, actually. So we can grab the sugarcane, we can grab some pistons and some observers, and then we need some blocks, which I have over here at the shulker monster, and we also need a water source. Also, quick tip, if you jump while you're running upstairs, you can go up the stairs like super fast. I didn't know that until recently, so I thought I'd share that with you guys. Now that we have the water source, we can start building up the sugarcane farm. So the blocks with the lights on them is where all of the drops are going to be shooting up into the chest. So we're going to have 2 modules of the sugarcane farm, so one here, one here. All the drops are going to somehow end up here. Hopefully that's not too hard to do. So yeah, we can start setting this up now. And the reason that we're using mud blocks is because mud blocks are not considered a full block. There's like a little bit of space on top of the mud block. So if you put hoppers under the mud block and you throw something on top of the mud block, the hopper will pull it through without having to use a hopper minecart. So that's pretty nice. All right, so I'm going to start filling this in with water. Now that we have the water sources in, we're going to add the walls behind the sugarcane so none of the sugarcane falls out of the farm. We're going to do this on both sides. Now that we have these blocks here, we can place the observers on top of these blocks. These are not observers, these are pistons. So you're going to place the pistons on top of the block behind the sugarcane, and then we're going to go behind the pistons and place another block here. We're going to do this on both sides. All right, and we're going to jump up on top of the pistons and place the observers on top of the pistons. So you want the observers to be facing in towards the farm, obviously. So what I do is I just right click on the wooden part of the piston, and that usually makes the observer face the right way. Once you have all the observers placed in, you are going to go on the block that we placed behind the piston and put redstone dust on all of the blocks. So once the sugarcane is here and it grows up and it hits this spot, it's going to fire all these observers, and then it's going to land on the mud, and the mud is going to bring it to the hopper system that is going to shoot up into here, and we are going to get our collects up top. Now that we have that done, we can go underneath all the mud blocks and we can dig all of this out. Now that we have all the bottoms of the mud dug out, we can take our hoppers. We're going to come all the way back to the last mud block. We did get this all linked up to the dropper right here. So if I throw, let's say like an andesite or something, it's gone. Boom, ends up in the dropper. And then we're going to be real big redstone geniuses and make some type of system that senses when there's an item in the dropper. All right, so we got the glass and the glowstone placed in, and the sugarcane is growing up now, and we fixed this hopper system because it was kind of ugly. And how we are going to make the bubble column is going to be with trapdoors. So what you do is you pretty much just fill her up with trapdoors facing the way that the soul sand is and the bubble column. So we're going to do this on all 4 sides. So once we have this done, we can go up top and start setting up the collection system on the top. So back up top, we added this back wall. That way all the drops do not fall out of the back. If we take a look down here, that is where the soul sand is. So what I'm going to do is use the trapdoors again to go up about 5 blocks. And then we're going to go up on this side 4 blocks. So the hoppers are going to be on this level. So they're going to be feeding down into this chest. So we can probably find a way to make this look a little bit better once we get everything done with the functionality. So we can hop up on top of here, bust out our hoppers, and jump on top of the chest just like this. We are going to need trapdoors on this side of the hoppers as well, just so everything doesn't fall out, and also on this side. And we can cover this up to make it look a little bit better, and this should do the job. I think that it kind of looks like a big cabinet, and then you just come here and this is where all the sugarcane is going to be. So now how we add in the bubble column is what we'll do is we will hop up on top of here, and then once we're on top of here, we're going to place water here, and it should flow this way, and it also dropped down to where the soul sand is, and we're going to place kelp all the way up to the top. Now that we have kelp placed all the way up to the top, we're going to go back down to the bottom and break the kelp. Once we break this, it's going to shoot us up to the top here. And here we go. You obviously have to cover this up. We're probably going to do that with like a trapdoor or something. So once everything gets shot up into here, it will end up down in this chest. So now our whole sugarcane farm is set up. We're going to set up the farms on camera, but we're not going to do the collection systems just because we just did that with the sugarcane farm. So the last part for the collection system is going to be how to detect items in the dropper. So you're going to need a comparator and a repeater and some redstone dust. So the comparator is going to be detecting what is in the dropper here. And then we're going to put a redstone dust on this side of the comparator. And then from here, we're going to face this way, and we're going to put the repeater, and then we're going to take the redstone dust and wrap it back around into the dropper here. So whenever something ends up in the dropper, like the sugarcane, it's going to send a signal and fire every single time something drops into the dropper. And that's going to send all the drops up to the collection system that we just set up top. So the sugarcane farm is now complete. So with the sugarcane farm all built up, the bamboo farm is going to go here, and that is another pretty simple farm to build up. It is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to have 2. We're just going to have 1 of the bamboo, and it's going to be on this back wall here. So the way the bamboo farm works is essentially how the sugarcane farm works. The only difference is we're going to put the observers up higher. That way the bamboo can grow up higher before it fires off the pistons. So everything should be looking like this so far. Other than that though, you can come around the back of the farm, and we're going to add a layer of solid blocks 1 block below the observers. That way we can add the redstone here. So we're going to add the redstone just like this, and we're going to come down and do the same thing on the block behind the pistons as well. So once we have redstone behind all of the observers and behind all of the pistons, what we're going to do now is come over to this side, and this is how we're going to link up the observers with the piston here. The redstone line is going to go down this way. It's going to come here, and then we're going to add a repeater right here, and then this is what's going to refresh the redstone signal, and then it's going to fire off all of the pistons. Let's see if this works. Has to go up 1 more block, and that would be right there. Ah, perfect. All right, so the bamboo farm is all set up, and I did move up the glowstone just to, I don't know if this makes a difference, but the glowstone is right next to the bamboo itself, so it can grow up, I don't know, quicker, maybe. It's all connected up top, and so is the sugarcane. So now what we are going to make is going to be the cactus farm, because this is also a pretty easy farm to make. So what we're going to do is grab our block that we're using to make the farm, which is kind of going to blend in on this corner. Oh well. So we're going to do an 11 by 11 square. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After we do that, we're going to put a water bucket in all 4 corners. After we have water in all 4 corners, what we're going to do is come in 1 block. So diagonally, come in 1 block, skip a block, put sand, and then do the same thing. We're going to have a little grid pattern. All right, after we have the sand placed in, we can place the cactus on top of all of the sand blocks. After we have all the cactus placed down, we can grab wooden fences, any type of wood, doesn't matter. Bring it along the top of the cactus, and then once we have this, get rid of the wooden fences. And once you're done breaking all of the fences on top of the cactus, this is your cactus farm. All we have to do now is link it up to this spot here where the cactus is going to go, and then link it up to the storage system up top. You can make this bigger. You can go upwards and scale it up, but I don't think that we're going to need that many cactus. The only reason that we're going to be using cactus is for green terracotta, and I don't think we're going to need that much. Other than that, all the extra cactus I'm going to use for bone meal. So with all 3 of these farms built up, the last farm to make is the moss farm. And I actually have never made a moss farm, so I'm not going to torture you guys and do that on camera. I'm actually going to do that off camera and just leave a link of the video that I used for the moss farm in the description. All right, so after a little while of messing around with all of this redstone, this is what I have for the moss farm so far, and it turns out this is a bedrock farm. So it doesn't work on Java. Great. So I got to tear all of this down and find a new farm to build. I can't believe that. Wow. All right, so let's see how the second iteration does. They said just to flip this lever and we should be in business. Is it working? Oh, it's working. Let's go. Wait. It's not moss. This is just moss. Okay, here we go. Moss. Beautiful. This is not going to be an AFK farm. We're going to have to put bone meal into this dropper dispenser thing here for it to work. Yeah, we're definitely... Oh, wow. That's a lot of moss. So, yeah, we're definitely going to have to make a bone meal farm sometime later so we can run this and get a lot of moss. At long last, after all the farms got set up down below, we can finally do the fun part, and that is build the build. So, yeah, we did have to set up these walls for the collection system. That way everything didn't fall out the back. And you may have noticed earlier, we are going to be using birch wood. Very unlikely, but we're going to see how that looks. If it doesn't look good, then we'll switch it out for spruce. Probably something that looks kind of like that. So what I had in mind for this build is I just have a large rectangle type of structure for the green terracotta, and then like a more square structure for the birch. So with the general shape in mind, all this is going to be is a rectangle, and we're just going to build it up, I would say about 9 blocks, so it's a little bit taller than this. That way we have a little bit of height variation. So we're going to do that on a time lapse because it's the same block over and over, just stacking it on top of each other. Alright, so from when we get the walls placed in, what we're going to do now is come up on all of the corners and place in the spruce logs and strip them down. And then also I did, strip down all this birch wood. We're going to texture this birch because it doesn't look that good and we can make it look a little bit better. We got this birch room textured up and it does look a little bit better. If we come out on this side where the sun is hitting it, that looks pretty nice. I like that. So with all these blocks added in, what we can start working on now, and I think is going to transform the build, is the roof. So for the roof on this build, I'm going to use a deep slate trim just like we did here. I'm going to use deep slate bricks and deep slate tile bricks for the trim, and then on the inside we're going to use spruce wood. So up on top of the roof we are going to do the roof with the classic upside down stair on top of another stair, so we meet up in the middle, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side coming this way. Adding just extra shapes in the roof definitely helps spice it up. And if you're ever struggling building and like trying to get better at building, I think roofs are a good place to start, because once you start leveling up your roofs, the entire builds just benefit from having a nice looking roof. Now that we have the outline placed in, what I'm going to do now is fill the entire roof with spruce stairs. Alright, now that we have all the spruce stairs placed in, I'm going to do the usual pattern for the roofs. So just like all the rest of the builds, we're going to do the full block with the slab, full block, slab, full block, slab. And then on top of the full block is going to be the wall with the fence post. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put another part of the roof here. So this is what I mean by when you're building stuff, you can make simple stuff and then just keep adding on to the simple stuff. So here, what I think I'm going to do is cut out a part of this roof and then add like a sub roof like we did on the build over here. So something like this on that side, because it is really flat, and yeah, just adds like a little bit more interest inside of the roof. So to add that roof variation, what we're going to do is come down 3 blocks, 1 2 3 right here, go over 1 block, and this is where the green terracotta wall is. So we can add a pillar probably going up by about 3 blocks, and we're going to do this on both sides. And then I want it to be an odd number in between the other pillar that we put on this side and that side. So let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Yeah, that should be good enough. I'm going to strip these down, so we're going to jump up on this pillar here and do the same thing for the roofing. So we're going to do the upside down stair on top of the stair just like that, and then go up into the middle, and then once we get to the middle we can do another upside down stair just like that, and then leave this block empty. And if we take a step back, let's see how this is looking. That's looking pretty decent. Once we add in more details, it's definitely going to look better, but for right now it's a good start. And this is going to be the front of the build anyways, so it's pretty much like what we did over here for the villager breeder. We just put a roof on top of a roof, and with the spruce fences as the wall there. I think we're going to use green terracotta as the wall on this one. And if you noticed over here on the villager breeder, we did add a little triangle shape in the middle of the roof, and I think that I like that because this looks good, but it still doesn't look that good. I guess I'll probably put the triangle shape on this side somewhere over here just to offset this one. So we did add in the wall, and we did go with the stripped birch logs for the wall up top, and I think that makes it look a little bit better. And also we did add the little bit of triangle piece. I don't know what you would call this. It's like there's a certain word for it, I don't know the word, but it's looking better. I think what is really going to transform the build, if we can land, no we can't. All right, well, once we place in the roof for this part, I'm gonna do like a steeper middle section of the roof. So it's gonna start off as slabs and then go into stairs and then go back into slabs this way. So I think that's gonna look pretty good. The build definitely is gonna look a lot nicer standing on this side for right now. Once we get the glass placed back here for the greenhouse area, that's gonna look really nice too, and I'm excited to see how that looks once we start building that up. But for now, we're gonna finish up on the roofs and then start on the glass portion. Alright, so a little bit of work has gone in on a long time lapse, and this is what we are cooking with so far. We did go with that more steep roof in the middle for the birch part, and then we made the entrance roof, and everything is coming together pretty nicely. It looks pretty good from this side. We ended up putting all this glass out here and the frame for the greenhouse, and what I'm going to do out here is probably have like a flower stand somewhere in this corner, and then also kind of some stuff like we have over here, these little wheat things that I did there. I like that. That looks pretty cool. So we'll put some of that stuff out here. Maybe a small fountain if I can manage. There's not a lot of space, but I do want it to look like, you know, aesthetic, and this is like the fun part, the part that just kind of looks good and not really, you know, functional. With that being said, all that we need now is to move on to the interior, because the interior is, well, it's empty. Yeah, the way that I set this up coming off to the side here, I actually want it to be on this wall, so I'm gonna work on getting this configured this way. That way, you know, it's not right in front of the entrance, and then we could put like decorations on this side and probably on this wall. All right, so this is what the interior is looking like so far. Put some spruce logs in here, stripped them all down, outlined the entrance or exit, and then outlined the actual drop system. And then we put some oak trapdoors and some spruce buttons, and then things like fences and fence gates and lanterns and glowberries and stuff like that, just to kind of fill the space a little bit. This is now where the bamboo is coming up into. It was on this wall, and we needed a window here, so I moved it to this wall. And then on this side is where the sugarcane is, and we actually have a lot of sugarcane. Next is probably going to be a gunpowder farm, because I need that because I'm running low on rockets. This video is actually going to come out a little bit later than scheduled, unfortunately. I was in the hospital about a couple weeks ago, and it kind of threw off my recording schedule a little bit, which is you know, not so fun, but it's going to come out just a little bit later, unfortunately. But I do appreciate everybody's patience, and I do appreciate everybody that takes the time to watch, and I'm glad that I can make something that, you know, a community enjoys. Look at this guy, he's going to shoot at me. Yep, no, back to the interior. The reason that we made the bamboo farm is for this reason, actually, so we can make some chests instead of using all of our spruce wood to do that. I want this to be where the storage for all the farms, the excess stuff, as yeah, we're about to fill up on sugarcane pretty soon. Taking some trapdoors, maybe like this, or a couple barrels down. All right, that's a good start. Let's take some chests, just like that. Let's see if we do that. Does that look good now? And then we can probably hang like some glowberries or something like that here. Let's grab some of those, and we have some organic light. Look at that, perfect. Couple chest here. Throw some lanterns here, lanterns here. I might just put a spruce beam coming from here all the way to the back. That kind of closes it in a little bit, and we're definitely going to strip these down. Grab some chains and some lanterns. Let's throw that there. Oh, that looks good. I like that. I want something on these corners here, probably a potted plant. So yeah, with doing interiors, as you can see, you really just got to play with doing a lot of different stuff and see what looks the best in the end, because yeah, it takes a while. Something still feels off here. Let's see if we add a little bit of that there. Oh, hold on. Getting ideas. A little lip coming out like this. Hold on. Chat, are we cooking? Are we cooking with this? We're also going to add some slabs and a stair right there as well. Maybe we'll do an upside down stair. Oh, that looks cool. I like that. Nice. All right, so I would say the interior looks pretty well decorated. We did a lot, actually. Yeah, this is like extremely decorated. The only thing left to do now is the backyard, and that is going to be the greenhouse area, obviously. The only thing is, I do want to use spore blossoms, and I just checked my chest for them, and unfortunately, we do not have any spore blossoms. So I'm going to have to try to find a, what do you call those, lush cave, and, you know, get some spore blossoms. So that leaves room for another little adventure. Let's go. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's a lush cave this way. We're just going to be on the lookout for acacia trees, so that way we can just dig down, and it'll be a good time to get some rooted dirt as well. Yes, let's go. This is actually really close to our stuff. See, that's the Cherry Grove Trail right there. All right, beautiful. Now we're gonna dig down and go into the lush cave. Hopefully I don't regret this without a totem. So let's get digging, I guess. It's gonna be nice. We can get some rooted dirt while we're here too. I'm not gonna collect all of it because that's gonna take way too long. Oh, that's clay. Let's go. Finally. Is this just clay? What's happening here? Like in something? Yeah, that's okay. Just clay. Cool. And down we go. Oh, we found it. Let's go. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna put this in my hand. So if it is a little dark, I apologize. All right, so let's see if we can find some. Yep, that's what we're here for. I don't think we've actually come across any spore blossoms in this world yet. At least like taking any home anyways. This will be nice. Oh, I should have brought some buckets. There's some axolotls here. Oh my, bro, you scared me. Wow, Jesus. I gotta make sure no creepers sneak up on me. There's creepers over here. Didn't catch his attention yet. There must be. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm actually pretty scared to be here right now because it's not the most dangerous thing, but it's not the most safe thing either, especially with no totems still. That's also something that we're gonna have to do for the 1,000 days is get totems, because we're pretty deep into this world, and if we lose it now, I honestly might have a stroke. Yoink. This doesn't look like a very... Okay, never mind. Wow. So this way we go. Bring out my light here so we can see a little bit at least. Lush caves in Minecraft is like one of the best looking things in this game, especially with like shaders and stuff. Like, look at this. This looks amazing. It'd be cool to like make a base in here. Like, bro, what? Are you kidding me? Look at... Wow. Look at this. This is beautiful. Wow. Look at all the spore blossoms. Let's go. Oh, there. Whoa. These couldn't be in a worse spot. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Nice. We're gonna go for the safe ones. I don't need too much. I'm just gonna get what we can. I'm definitely not going for those because I don't want to die. I'll take you, sir. Thank you. Spore blossoms. They don't sound good, but they look great. This is also in... Wow. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Almost just got played just now. I almost got set up. There's I'm taking all 4 of these. All right, I'm taking these 4 and then we're leaving. All right, now just to exit this treacherous slush cave and get home safely with all of our good loot here. So let's try to navigate that. Oh my god, I didn't see that. Holy moly. Why did that just scare me so bad, bro? All you gotta do is turn around. Wow. Dude, I can't imagine playing like horror games. I can't even play Minecraft, bro, without almost having a heart attack. That was... Wow. That wasn't even that scary. Scared for my blood pressure. Where did we come in at? I'm pretty sure we came in some... Ooh. Oh my god. That wasn't good. Yep, look at that, bro. They're just waiting down here for something like that to happen. Damn it. Look, there's another one. Oh my gosh. All right, it's dark and creepy in here, and I don't want to be here anymore. Can you stop? That was so cheap. How it just set me up like that. All right. Yes. Yep. No way. No way we just found this. Wow. Let's go. Sunlight. What a beauty. We had to use wool to get up because I ran out of blocks to use to pillar up. Look how close we are. Look at that. We can float back to what we have going on. That was nice. I'm glad that didn't take that long. Where's my buddy at? Hey buddy. Got your little friend. Yeah, nice. Now you got 2 in there. If you guys want to, you can leave some names in the comments, and the best names will get put on these axolotls, and they'll be our friends forever in this world. Yeah, look at that. They're so happy. Nice. Now that we got these spore blossoms, we can start decorating the back area. And what I want to start with is the little flower shop. So we're going to put that probably in this corner over here. And the way that we are going to set this up is going to be something kind of like this. So we're going to go three blocks wide with the spruce planks, and then we're going to grab some spruce stairs, and we're going to place them all upside down in front of these spruce planks, and then we're gonna pull out our spruce fences and go up 4 blocks. Oh my god, am I good at Minecraft or not? And then we can come up 4 blocks on this side as well. So coming back up to the top, taking some campfires, we're going to place these down just like this. Coming back around with our pots, we can place pots in all these spots. So we got some flowers in our hands too, so I'm gonna hit a blue orchid here. Let's do a torch flower here and there, and maybe one of these there, one of those there. All right, it's looking pretty blue on this side. I don't think I like that. We'll throw that there. And you know what? We're actually gonna grab some bamboo and some cactus because this is the greenhouse after all. So let's put some of that in there. I love these farms, man. They're doing work right now. Look at this. And beautiful, just like that. We have ourselves a nice little flower shop. We are gonna put some lights around it and maybe put some foliage on the top of it just so that way it, you know, just looks a little more interesting. I'm gonna grab some glowberries, probably throw some glowberries up in here just like this, and we're going to trim those so they don't grow any larger than that. Actually want one more right there as well. That looks pretty nice. I like it. I also wanted to add the little flower spots here, so we're gonna take some grass blocks and cover them up with the spruce trapdoors all the way around, and then I'm gonna grab some rose bushes because those are my favorite flowers in Minecraft, and throw these up in here just like that. That looks pretty good. Using some of the rooted dirt that we just got from the lush cave, we're going to place it in some of these spots here, and then we're also going to put some horse dirt in there with that just so give it a little bit of texture. That looks pretty nice. We're probably gonna do the same thing coming all this way. I'm liking how this is looking. This is looking pretty good. I think I want to put something right here, maybe with some spruce trap doors, and just make it like a little water source of some sort. So we can just do something like this, whip all these up, and then throw a bucket of water in here, and got ourselves a nice little water source. I'm gonna start hanging some glowberries around the place just because yeah, we need some lights in here, and we'll probably end up coming back and shearing these just so they don't grow too crazy. Now that we added the glow berries. We can add in some spore blossoms. We're just gonna put these in random spots. Probably do like 3. I'll spread them out pretty evenly. This is going to probably make this area come alive. Yeah, with all these particles. Wow, there's a lot of particles in here. So yeah, this is probably gonna make this area feel like a very nice greenhouse type of vibe. I do want to put big pots out here, probably somewhere over here, like a big pot storage or something like that. I want to have bees in here too, so I was thinking about doing something like this. We got our bee nests, placing these just like that. Oh, there's bees in there too. So, and then obviously they can get what they need from these flowers. I think we can do one of these flower things, but with wheat on this side right here, and this one's only going to be 2 wide. Grabbing our hoe, we are going to till this and place the wheat there. Grabbing our big pots, we are going to put some type of big pot storage here. Probably have something kind of like this. That looks pretty nice, pretty decorated. Probably a campfire here, and maybe one more on the floor here, and maybe one more right here. All right, that looks pretty nice. All right, we can add some mud slabs here, just so this is easier to get up and traverse through, and probably a couple right here, maybe some on this side. I'm gonna come around and add some grass on top of the coarse dirt and the rooted dirt, so that way it looks a little bit greener back here. And we can actually bone meal the green areas too, just for more lushness. And a block that I don't use too often, which I probably should start using a little more often, is hanging roots. I feel like this adds a lot of atmosphere to builds, especially builds like this. It just, I don't know, it just makes everything look overgrown, and I really like it. So we'll add some of this around the place. So with the last details added in, I'm really happy with this build. It's looking really good. I love the indoor outdoor type of vibe, and I've been trying to do that more with builds in Minecraft, and I think it's been going pretty good. This is definitely one of my favorite builds. It's been a lot of fun to make, actually. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel. As a growing YouTube channel, you know, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to be, you know, like super cool, please hit the subscribe button. Anyways, hope to catch you guys in the next episode. And until then, be easy.